What is going on, you beautiful bunch of savages? It is Primetime 122, FSK Fadanator versus Reg Atakan's very own Atakan. Two undefeated prospects, or one undefeated prospect, going up against the reigning, undisputed, and undefeated champion, FSK Fadanator, trying to make history, going the entire season undefeated. Very, very difficult to do, of course, as there is an absolute litany of killers waiting to get into that Xbox title holdership, and no more so than Reg Atakan's very own Atakan, a guy that's been on a killing spree as of recently, 5-0 in the division, and now looks to make waves here this evening. Joining me in the commentary booth to call all of this absolutely historic action is the dynamic duo themselves, Swaggy Dr. Kush, and of course, our very own Doctor. How are you doing, lads?
I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here. We got an absolutely stacked up card. I'm a little depressed that Doc's in the booth with us. I can't lie.
Wow.
I already have to deal with him on the pod. Now we got him in here. Hi, Doc.
Getting absolutely slated by you already. Jesus. We haven't even got the first fight and you're already trying to start fights in the combo. Jesus, Swag. Jesus.
Amazing. Well, look, pleasure to have you both in here. Of course, you're both absolute veterans of the comedy booth at this point. And guys, you know as well as I do that the main event, as absolutely legendary as that's going to be, and as excited as we are to get to that point here this evening, this entire card is absolutely filled with killers. And you know better than most, Doc, as one of the guys, or the head matchmaker over at Primetime at the moment, it's not easy to get in to this live card, and it's not easy to make your way onto the main card itself. We see the likes of the former PlayStation champion, a man that relinquished his belt to move across to the Xbox division, and yeah, you know, he's gonna have to go through like a line of killers now. He's got like I think it's a top 15 guy as the former champion for his first one. He's gonna be going up against KM Frosty MMA in the prelims. Only like 4 or 5 fights in. I think that's one hell of a fight, especially considering where it's placed on the card.
Yeah, no, that fight is an utter killer to have. Again, it's prelims, which shows you just how stacked this card is. Frosty's, I believe, ranked 13, so Naz vacated his title. He's coming back over here, and Frosty's looking to make waves again by beating someone and then get back onto that main card. For both of them, there's a lot on the line. For Naz, there's even more side because he's just come from that PlayStation, being the very top of that division, so he's looking to make his way up, looking to get the Xbox champion this time round here.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And Swaggy, as we saw in the chat, our unofficial or our official unofficial round scorer in the chat was just saying, well, so what's happened? Is the belt vacant? And absolutely it is. And when you look at that co-main event here this evening, B3 Vanyo up against what remains of Versus Style, these two men have their first opportunity at Primetime Gold here this evening for that for that undisputed title on the PlayStation side of things. And when you look at these guys, they both deserve to be in this title picture. They were both kind of in contention to be the next guy up. We have Vanyo at the moment on a 6-1 record, going up against what remains of Versatile, who has been a killer throughout this entire division, rocking a 4-fight win streak coming into this co-main event here this evening.
Yeah, man, that co-main is going to be crazy because Vanyo comes from the B3 camp, and them B3 boys love to block break, but that's not Vanyo's entire game. Vanyo's saucy with it too. He got that dog style, and he got that sauciness with it. But Verse comes from the WR camp, who has gorgeous game plans all around. John Africa works around the clock to make sure these guys are ready in their fights. I'm sure Verse is going to fight with a corner. I'm sure the corner is going to be knowledgeable on Vanyo's game. I'm sure it's going to be a close and wonderful fight.
Exactly, brother. Exactly. And sorry to interrupt you there, Doctor. I mean, we've got too many names here this evening to really call out. We'll get to talk about them a little bit more as we move through the entirety of the card. As we're outside of Trixie and Bossman and John Africa, Sean Corkery, which are some other really highly anticipated fights. There's about 4 or 5 fights here this evening that I think are just like easy early contenders for like those fight of the nights that we expect to see. Those 2 fights right there, of course, expect that to be the case. And as you look a little bit up the card, we've got Hates Fran, mix-ups, 1K hand. Just too many, brother. Too many to go ahead. So we're going to get straight into this first fight. And that is going to be between rank number 22 for the first fight here this evening, NBK Dirty Dan. And he's going to be going up against, I don't know how the hell you would ever say this name, but K1 is what I'm going to call him, but K1 SA98, who's new and on a 2-fight win streak. What the hell is that name, though? That is the real question.
We call him Sa.
I believe K1 is the camp, at least. The name is SA91, how you pronounce it, I suppose, has to be SA91. But both of these guys are in the bantamweight division. By the looks of it, we're going to have Marlon Moraes versus Jimmy Rivera. Seems like the typical striking matchup you want to see. Striker versus grappler. Marlon's going to be able to kick the legs out of Rivera, get rid of those takedowns early on, work that stand. Rivera, although he does have punching power, if you can get into top mount early and get that damage off, Marlon will have no chin for later in the fight here, Swag.
Yeah, nah, not at all. Marlon got dirty kicks, though. So if he can keep him at a distance, he can definitely get damage done, Cyrus.
Yeah, exactly right, my man. Exactly right. We'll see how quickly this one gets heated up. These guys are kicking off the card. Sometimes a little bit of nerves can come into play. But as you can see, Jimmy Rivera not waiting any time trying to make this cage feel very, very small for Marlon, which, let's be real, dog, smart move against the kicker. You don't want him to have all of that room to really get that technical game going.
Yeah, you want to be putting as much distance as you can. Typically, though, you want the takedown guy to be on the back foot just a bit, not holding you back against that cage, because otherwise you're looking at cage takedowns or working that clinch, getting you against the cage and dragging you down that way. Using those teeps there, that's a lovely job, just making sure to keep that distance and whenever he comes in, firing shots down the middle.
Yeah, Marlon's doing a really good job at maintaining distance right now. Well, he was until he got, trapped on the cage right there. Had a little goof for a second. And he's just working he's trying to work those body kicks in. He's half successful. He's like 50-50. Now he's working the leg kicks, which I think is smart. Chop down the tree. Because Jimmy clearly just wants to get him on the cage and get the damage in and or get the takedown down.
Yeah, he's using a lot of those slips hooks to get into the pocket as well. Maybe he should probably go back to those jab straights, use the basic boxing combos here, Cyrus.
Yeah, I would imagine so, brother. Sorry, I was fixing a small technical issue there, but maybe missed a little bit of it. From this way, I mean, if you're K1, it's a lot of teep kicks. He's using like roundhouses on the inside, and that's problematic at best, Swaggy. I mean, you're going to open yourself up to some of those hooks and boxing combinations when your opponent's on you. You want to use some of the tools that you have to allow you to regain some of that range. So jabs, straights, teeps, all going to help you considerably to help control that distance.
Yeah, no, exactly, and especially those teeps, as to where the jabs and straights might not necessarily connect because of the distance he's trying to create. And Marlon doesn't have the longest arms, but his legs are strong.
Yeah, absolutely, man. He's very explosive with it, Doc. Like, he doesn't really telegraph too much with those kicks, especially with the spins. They kind of come out of nowhere.
Yeah, they really do. He's like the poor man's version of Aldo, I think is the best explanation for it. So far, though, the stamina definitely favors Marlon. Pretty good idea working those teeps, those body roundhouse, although have kind of been in the pocket, have been nicely placed there. So in terms of the grappling advantage, it favors Marlon, even if he is being holding side control. Now the issue is he's probably done enough on the ground. He just needs to wait the last 20 seconds out and then restart coming into the second round here, Swag.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's exactly what he needs to do. But instead, Jimmy Rivera is just really working in. Ooh, those elbows were landed heavy for a second, Cyrus. Now the round's over.
Absolutely. I mean, like that's a really good round for Jimmy coming into this one. I feel like Dirty Dan doing a really good job putting on the pressure, trying to make this a little bit uncomfortable for Marlon up until that point. He's really going to kind of continue that. And honestly, Doc, I know you're a man for this as well, but I'd really suggest kind of maybe mixing it up and going for a takedown in this round as well. Just trying to keep Marlon from really being able to settle in anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the case. So if you're looking to make someone completely confused on what you're doing, takedown, then strike, then takedowns, the more you mix it up, the better it goes, because it can really just unsteady someone's game, and that's exactly what you do. Rivera, though, started off quite good here. He's putting on that pressure quite nicely. He's landed a couple of slip hooks, but I do think he just needs to go back to that jab first, get that jab landing. Oh, Jesus.
This is kind of doing exactly what we were calling for. And look, even though he didn't get any top control time right there, Swag, still in a really good position. You know, mixed it up a little bit on K1, and has now made him even a little bit more panicked because he doesn't just have to worry about being pressed, but, you know, he has to worry about getting taken down as well now.
Yeah, no, he does have to worry about getting taken down. And it seems he threw the whole distance thing out the window. Now he's just trying to brawl with him.
Yeah, I think he's getting a little frustrated, Doc, right?
Yeah, you got to imagine, like, it's just you go into this fight with a game plan and you just continue that game plan. A lot of the time, a lot of the way these fights work is as soon as a game plan stops working, you start getting frustrated, you start making mistakes. But if that game plan is working to at least some idea, that's what you want to be doing. Rivera is the one really pushing the pace, and he does need to because he did get knocked down, but I think Marlon just needs to go back to using those teeps as well. Less so on those body kicks, just because the way he can get caught like so. Oh, the uppercut there as well. Now putting on the pressure here. You've got to imagine if you're Rivera, you can just keep this pressure on. I don't know if his takedown's a great idea, but he seems to think so. So into the RNC we don't go.
I was sure he was going to go for a submission there.
Yeah.
I was sure we were going to see his lights go out. Oh, big reversal for him right there.
And doesn't manage to take the back. I was kind of shocked he went for the backside position. Typically, people go for the top down. With Rivera's ground and pound stat as well, it's a much better idea. I don't believe Rivera has a triangle choke, so maybe a ghillie, then go for the ghillie and then get the top mount reversal. As just Stream decides to cause a bit of delay, but we're back into the action here.
Yeah, not our end, lads. We do apologize. These things happen. But, yeah, like you say, back on the feet. Dirty Dance keeps doing this, like, slip off to the side, moving forwards, uppercut, and I kind of like it. I kind of hate it. You know, I don't know if he's just seeing something with Marlon here, but it's leaving him open to some big counters. You know, in fact, some of the biggest counters that K1 has, but I don't know if he sees that and if he's going to capitalize. You can see he's trying to zone in those, Swag.
Yeah, nah, he's trying to lock in, and Sa's just like... Sa's just taking the shot. Oh, that was nice.
Oh.
But he's just eating punches right now. It's not looking good for him.
Turning him into a human Pez dispenser with that blood spraying absolutely everywhere. Marlon having a tough time, but like we said at the beginning, or at the top of this fight, Doctor, one of the more explosive fighters in this weight class, and if he decides to absolutely let go with some of these killer combinations and, you know, risk it a little bit, because he's behind in this fight. He kind of does have to, he does have to get himself ahead.
Round two. I mean, round twos can go either way. The one stun, that significant strikes, it's 1-1. This last round is definitely where it's going to be made or break. If I'm Rivera, I'm saying go for one more takedown. His main issue here does seem to be he's good when as soon as he's hit the pocket, because he's just using the power of Rivera well. It's how he gets into the pocket that's the issue. It's a lot of that head movement. It's a lot of those slip hooks, which can easily be countered, as you can see there. His main.
Nice.
Oh!
Yeah.
K1 with a killer pullback elbow followed up with an incredible combination. Obviously, the momentum of the fight slightly changing, but once again, a roundhouse on the inside. The Dirty Dan somewhat capitalizes on. He hasn't been able to turn the tides quite yet. And another pull elbow attempted. Swaggy. Dirty Dan's a bit of a Terminator right now. He isn't giving up. He isn't allowing anything to stop him.
Nah, but that's bad for Dan. Because Dan was kind of up. Dan was doing big things. And then now, like, Sa just, like, turned the momentum in his favor.
He did. He absolutely did. He got ahead in this round and maybe in this fight, but as you can see, Jimmy not laying down and taking it, man. Whether or not he goes out on his sword or not, we will see. But Doc, he is actively engaging in every part of the mixed martial arts game, trying to press him on the feet, and now engaging in some of the grappling. But even if he does manage to keep it there, he's gonna have to work very heavily to work back some of this round.
Yeah, so Marlon's chin's notoriously susceptible. So the main way that I can see Rivera winning this, at least on the ground, is get a top mount position, get a backside position, and just launch at that ground and pound position. Top mount's going to be your best play. If you can get back flat, that's even better. Hasn't managed to get it, annoyingly, but you still got a lot of time to work here, and I think you only need one, maybe two kind of big times, does fake it and then goes for it again, manages it. This could be deadly here.
Rain down.
Yeah, this
Hellfire, bro.
Oh.
I don't know what he's got on his stream, but this click to interact with stream means that we cannot see where Marlon's health is, but we can imagine it's not good as the ground and pound continues.
That elbow is massive. That does basically cause a stun a lot of the time, so the stam drain. So you want to go for an elbow, you could do. He could win around that way, but the elbow lands.
It only took one, bro. I swear that was that not the only shot that landed in that ground and pound sequence?
Basically. I mean, I think it was the ground and pound sequence before did some serious damage. The head tap was really low. One more posture up, and that elbow was all she wrote. Rivera coming back at the very end of that round with a fantastic ground and pound finish, knowing exactly what he needed, taking it down to the ground and doing a perfect job there.
Yeah, I mean, look, Dan getting... once again, we couldn't see his health because Dan, Dirty Dan's streaming, so we couldn't see the health because Dirty Dan has apparently got some slick shit set up on his stream and you can interact with him in certain ways, but he must have been very, very close for a while. Dan saw that and really, really pressed him. Some of that early work obviously came back around to pay dividends later in that fight. Great work by him, honestly. That was a fun fight to kick us off, Swaggy. You know, we expect these cards to start off with a bit of a bang, and that's a nice finish in the books, and a bit of a back and forth battle right there.
Yeah, man, that fight was crazy. Sal was out of it, and then he was in it out of nowhere. Like where'd this guy come from? It was kind of crazy, Doc.
Yeah, no, it was really crazy. I mean, the first round did look like it was going to favor Marlon, but then Rivera came back, made some adjustments, got the knockdown in the second, and then that third round was back and forth action all around, and then Rivera made the perfect adjustment that he needed. It was a game of adjustments, and Dirty Dan just so happened to play better that time around.
Well, with that one in the history books, we move upwards and onwards to the rest of the card. We have another incredible bout scheduled for this next one. Theo J up against BFAP's very own Kante. I'll go to you on this one, Swag. This fight, bro, I think it has all of the hallmarks of, quite honestly, one of those fight of the nights. I really like what Theo J brings to the table. I think he's a really credible, dominant kind of opponent that a lot of people should be worried about. But Kante's kind of the name that everybody is aware of. He's done a little bit more in the scene, and he's probably going to be having a little bit more of the betting line here this evening. I like the way that these two match up.
So I'm unfamiliar with Theo J's game, so I was just calling him Theo Von the entire podcast. However, I'm excited to see Conti because he needs to bounce back from that loss he took last week. But Theo has a lot to prove because, not many people know who Theo Von is right now. So he's really got to pop off right here.
Yeah, well, he's making his live debut this season. I believe he just came from the unedge from last week. So fighting someone like Kante really does state the enormity of the way these cards fight. Those two just having a slight start before we end up back into the action.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Perfect counter to the pullback. Typically, those pullback walls, you can finish them with the body shots, and that's what Theo did. He puts on the pressure and does it forward, reading the uppercuts where he needed. Seems like Theo knows Kante's every move, but so does Kante.
Kante has the weirdest audio settings for playing this game I have ever seen. He has no sound on any of the strikes. He has the crowd really loud. It's so odd, bro. There's zero sound on these punches.
That's wacky. How can you not have sound on punches?
No, I'm dying because why is have the crowd all the way up?
I don't know. I don't know. Kante is alone to himself, and he is looking to Dana White his way to a victory here this evening. But Jesus, Theo taking heads off.
This is a dogfight right now.
As soon as Theo lands, he's just like, there's another 4-piece coming, followed by it. And then as soon as Kante lands, there's another 3-piece followed by it. It's just back and forth action. Like, as soon as someone lands, their block is gone in about not even 2 seconds afterwards.
They're serving these combos with sodas, Doc. It is getting nasty in there.
Oh. It's the minutest of head movement, just avoiding these strikes, the overhands, trying the overhand and the uppercuts there as well.
Well, they're going to use all their stamina in the first round.
Yeah, both of them are like, that's a decent chunk of stamina. It's UFC 5. It's kind of half difficult to gas yourself out, but they're both doing a fantastic job at it without any body work as well. The straight clip in there, going for the ground and pound, but decides to get back up already. Dana White's cut may also be causing issues for the damage here, Cyrus.
No, for sure, man. Like, Kante is already in what I like to call Fucktsville. He is not doing good. Head health well block.
Who is Theo? Who is this guy? He looks like God right now. Conti needs a gun. Jay's not here to say it. Like, that's the only thing that would get Conti out of this right now.
Oh, you say that. The uppercut lands. Oh, the uppercut there, the hook. Oh my God. Kante just coming back at the end. The doctor steps in.
This shit's crazy.
The only break in the action is the doctor stepping in. There'll be no more breaks apart from the rounds. And Jesus.
He's going to let it go. He's going to let it go. He's going to let it go. That's what we like to see, bro. We wanted to see more of this violence. Although Dana White is wearing it on that eye, bro. Like, that is sliced to a million pieces.
Is wearing it.
This is true. This is true. Thankfully, the doctor, Herb Dean, and ourselves all want to see Kevin Gastelum and Dana White continue to duke it out in the center of the cage. They seem to be more than happy to give us exactly that, Swaggy, as they meet in the center of the cage for the end of the bell.
Oh, Jesus.
Bro, holy shit. This is a dog fight. They're not slowing down either. The doctor came in, they said, nah, fuck this. And they just immediately met in the middle.
124 out of 95 strikes landed. Theo's, I mean, you talk about Theo's offense, his defense there is impeccable. 24 strikes out of 95 is a really low percentage number, and that's really impressive to make your opponent miss that many shots.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Goddamn-lutely. We're in the second round. Our official round scorer, our unofficial round scorer, give it a 10-7 to Theo J, and I cannot disagree with it. The Rat King out here, getting victory after victory. That's Theo's name, by the way. I ain't calling him a rat, but either way, nice rock. I mean, he's on to... Kante's got to pull it back from the depths of hell to get this victory. He's so far behind right now. I skate him uphill.
He's so down bad right now. He's so down bad. I've never seen somebody lose with Dana so bad. Ooh.
Nice. Oh, there it is. Kante. Kante does it. No!
Oh!
The upkick saving his life. Oh, the hook lands there. Dana White now putting on the pressure. The elbow's coming out. Theo's trying to land one big combo. That's all he needs. The head movement is keeping Kante in just slightly, but the step back straight works lovely. Dropped him going into the backside position, raining down these shots. And he finally puts Kante out.
Credit, Doc, right? Credit to Kante for staying in that for so long and making it into somewhat of a fight. But let's be absolutely real. Theo J's here to take over, bro. He's here and he means business. That guy's a problem. What he just did to Kante, a former champion, a guy that's already a menace, like, that's impressive.
Where'd this guy come from? Like where did Theo come from? This is the second fight. He is the second fight on the prelims. He just made a name for himself. Theo was a dog. That was insane.
Oh, absolutely, bro. And look, that was against a former champion. Like I said, a menace of the division. And I'm going to go out there and I'm going to give Kante a little bit of a break here. I'm going to say that for Kante, the reason that he lost that fight is because of his audio settings. I'm saying that nobody can play the game normally with those audio settings, and I think he kind of did himself right there. So hopefully he's able to fix those settings. He realizes what was off, and next time I'm sure he'll be back with another big victory. But for right now, Theo J continues to propel himself up in those rankings with another fantastic win over a top flight competitor. With that, we move on to our third fight here this evening, and it is between Tia, who has been on the kind of prelims a few times, Doc. and is trying to work his way up those rankings. Going up against was it Debutant of the card? His first it's his debut fighter, Holdy of the. This is his first live card, and I know he's very excited, a little nervous to get on this card, but wants to come out here and put on one hell of a show. I think it's a good dance partner to be able to test himself against in tier.
Indeed. Holdy's been making his name on the unaired. He's been slowly getting the wins. He's finally put together that win streak to get himself into the top 25 or so. He won his fight this week. Happily took a replacement fight against Tier, and here we are now. Holdy's typically he's a striker until he starts losing, and then he shoots a takedown. So he makes the adjustments on the fly, and he knows typically when to do that. His grappling style is typically seen as a lot of double leg bails. So he's kind of a menace in the community, is I think it's the easiest way to say it. But again, there's a lot of counters to double leg bails. It's a fair game until they have that stamina. It's a fair game takedown. So it would be interesting to see here, especially if he's going someone like Masvidal here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as we approach the start of this third fight on our prelims here at PrimeTime 122, take a couple of moments to thank each and every one of you once again. Your continued support means the absolute world. Encourages us over here at Doc and Swag to continue to put out the content that we are. A special shout out, of course, to everybody that's out there dropping those biddies and follows, like AO Pudgy, one of the true goats of the community. King Jon Snow 99, and I did see you earlier over there, Wizard. We appreciate you too, my man. Starting out quickly, not wasting any time, Swaggy. Couple of kicks up that center. El Kakui on the right hand side of things, that is Tia up against Holdy on the left. We are also joined by John Anik and DC in the booth here this evening.
I am unfamiliar with Holdy's game up to this. I do know TYL is a savage, an absolute demon, and he picked Anthony Pettis, which is a crazy pick.
He's a pretty good pick, man. 4-star.
Yeah, it's a pretty good pick. I mean, all round, he's really solid. Good jiu-jitsu, good submissions, good kickboxing. Keep a bit of range from him. Don't engage too much early on. He's definitely effective, and that's kind of the way El Kakui's going with this. But as I said, Holdy doing the double leg bails, getting to that cage, and now dragging him down as soon as he started finding any adversity on the feet. Now, there's a lot of places to work here. Going for this knee on belly position, trying to get a stun, then could get that stand advantage, but back up onto their feet here.
So far, I am thoroughly impressed with the composure of Holdy. I think he's doing a really good job of walking his opponent down, choosing his shots well, and trying to be defensively mindful. But on the flip side, Swaggy, Pettis, he's been a little bit wilder. He's taken a couple more risks, but I do think he needs to. And I like this from him. I think it gives him the best opportunity of getting himself ahead in this fight.
Yeah, nah, for sure. He's taking the risk, but he's taking smart risk, calculated risk, and he's still landing things in the middle. I think Holdy, with that double leg bail style, I think he made the wrong pick.
Maybe.
Jorge, a boxer.
Jorge is a boxer. But bro, he pressing him so heavy right now. Like, Holdy's showing some ripples to his striking. He was fighting a little bit on the outside in the opening 60 seconds or so. Over the second half of this first round, really started to press it a little bit and just trying to test his opponent in different angles. This is a thinking man's fighter, quite clearly, and the reaction times of a cat out there. God damn, he caught that knee mid-punch. Pretty impressive. I like what I'm seeing.
Slow and steady. So far, I'd say Holdy's probably winning this fight so far. As you mentioned, he's staying close. He's just firing shots when he can. He's timing them quite well. A lot around that jab straight, just looking to land in between those block and countering the shots so far. I mean, if I'm Pettis, I'm maybe shooting, just having a feel on the ground myself and working that one out, especially since this is the way Holdy wants to be playing on the feet. It's quite up close, quite tight. It's not Pettis' preferred game, so he can get a bit of damage on the feet, then maybe you can get him to back off and then really start doing some damage into your preferred play style here.
Well, he did start digging to the body with some knees right there. Didn't mind it at all, but a clear round, in my opinion, for Holdy, who had less significant strikes, but did manage to get a stun in his favor. So, Yeah, good work, man. We'll have to see how the second and third round pans out. Of course, these guys have got some reads on them, but I would say more damage landed for Masvidal. But a better cardio coming into round 2, Swaggy, for El Kakui, or Tia, on the blue corner.
Yeah, TYR got the stam advantage, but Holdy is boxing his brakes off.
Yeah, for a debut, I mean, he's doing very well, man. Like I said, you don't have to see debut fighters fight this composed. I mean, a lot of these guys, to make it to this point, of course, you've got to have some skills, Doc, but the composure is telling, and I think that it's maybe an indication of how this guy might do if he's able to get through this one and continue to put together... Oh my god, continue to put together performances like this. You know, small errors to correct on, don't get me wrong, but he's doing a lot of the right things right now, ticking a lot of boxes.
He's got a really good jab. Like, it's always there, it's always out, he's always measuring the distance. That 1-2 is kind of in his mainstay. It's probably why his significant strikes are so low, because of how much he's using it just to figure out distance. Gets the 1-2, and then once he knows he's in that distance, he's firing everything else behind it, like that lead hook strike, other like damaging combos like that. It's purely there for working out everything else, and because of Masvidal himself as well, the power of that 1-2 can do some serious damage here, Swag.
Yeah, nah, he's really messing up that block. That block is very low. That head health is very low, and the doctor coming in.
Interesting. That nose is absolutely obliterated, as Anik is pointing out for us. A lot of calculated and precise shots from the side. Gonna let him go, bro. Gonna let him go. This doctor wants to see violence, and that is exactly what he will.
Yeah. Anthony Pettis took his girl on a date. That's why he's letting the fight go on.
He wants more than just virtual violence. No touch of gloves. Holdy in there, throwing combinations. Eats a body roundhouse. A lot of kicks being thrown out there by El Kakui, who needs to be active and needs to lead the dance right now. He cannot be absorbing any more shots, even on the block. It's going to continue to work at that cut. And a takedown, Doc, as you were calling for. I think that that's a smart move, especially with 2 minutes to go in this second round.
Yep, 2 minutes to go. Very diverse ground game by Anthony Pettis. You can go for the ground and pound here, go for the back mount. RNCs are an option. Maybe a DAS, if I remember Anthony's moveset correctly, but I may not be sure. But again, it's just all about here. It's if he can land that damage crucially, then he's going to be fine. Even working that block's going to do a lot of damage coming onto the feet later. Managing to take the back. The stamina advantage as well. Easy for submissions here, Swag.
Yeah, nah, he has a lot of submissions in his bag. Two as Anthony Pettis. Ooh, and he's rolling for one right there. Got him in the armbar.
Nice. Gonna sink this one in.
Nice.
Ooh.
He needs one, maybe two more. Maybe.
Nah, I think if he gets one more at a full drain.
Yeah, one more, I would say, yeah. He's trying to go. I mean, Pettis has quite high level subs, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So
yeah, I was going to say it depends on the type of sub I think he puts in there, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Potentially one away. Not enough time right now, but a really good turnaround for what was a round he was suffering in. I mean, the doctor almost stopped it at one point in that round, but I feel like in a round that he was maybe losing at that point, the takedown, the ground and pound, the submission, that's El Kakui's, that's Tia's. Puts him in a really strong spot, lads, going into this third round. A lot of momentum going behind him, especially if he can secure another takedown early.
Yeah, that's the main thing here. I think that Pettis needs to take away from that that second round is, okay, so grappling's the idea, but
I like Holdy, bro. I like Holdy. He said, oh, you want to grapple now? And he shot that double leg first. He took him fucking down, Swaggy. And now he's looking to make him pay for ever engaging him in a grappling domain.
I like that. I respect that. If he was anybody besides Jorge Masvidal.
Yeah.
Like,
bro, you guys keep saying this as if he wasn't like a roommate with Colby. This man's wrestled before. He knows how to wrestle. He can wrestle. He just decides not to.
But he's also against like a jits nerd of Pettis who's got rubber guard, who's got triangles, who's got everything.
He slapped Colby in a restaurant. They were never friends.
I mean, they were friends, bro. Of course, when you mention Colby's name, a Wild Reaper will appear in the chat, and
oh, he really did.
He really did.
Oh, he drops him.
Oh,
Lead upper straight once again from Holdy, paying dividends, blistering that nose between jabs, straights, and uppercuts, and gets another takedown. Doctor, this man is having a pretty dominant performance with a little bit of, you know, having to weather some storms as well. What a debut from this man, especially. You know, even if he's able to just win this fight, whether it be victory or not, I mean, he's had an immense starting to his run right now, win or lose.
Yeah, no, he's done a really good job so far. He's managed to showcase all aspects of his ground. Has shown a couple of issues in the subs. He may do here as well. Drainen's...
Do you know what I forgot when I was out making my argument? I forgot he was only one away. I forgot he was only one away.
Oh, no.
He needs to defend.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, no.
Readjusting, and that...
No!
Isn't it?
Yes! Swaggy! Swaggy, he did it! He got him, bro!
Got no stamp!
I don't know how he did it. But you know what? I mean,
What?
Nah.
Well...
A whole...
I think Holdy may have just been saved by the EA gods. I'm not going to lie. Anthony Pettis going for the DAS, going for the attempt for it now. Trying to race it, doesn't end up doing it, and now goes straight for it, and he gets it. Yep.
It's over.
It's over.
GG's Holdy.
Well. Look. Holdy. Hold your head high, my man. An absolutely incredible performance for a debut fighter to come out here, show that composure. Very thoroughly impressed with you and what you were able to do here this evening. Some narrow or minor changes, and I think that we'll see this guy really make a splash in that division. I honestly, I was impressed with him. I just think that there's minor adjustments to take him to that next level. But another great fight to put on this card here this evening, and we expect this action, Doc, to continue. The primetime guarantee being in full effect ever since it was coined many years ago, and these guys continue to make that promise and live up to it each and every fight. These next two fighters, we expect that to continue, and some, between NM's very own Eagle MMA and K1 Tron. Is that Tron de Jeune? We're going to say Tron. We're just going to call this man Tron. K1 Tron, who these guys are going to be fighting in welterweight. And correct me if I'm wrong, are we not seeing a dangerous Damian Maia pick in this one? Is that what?
I believe we are, yeah. No, I was looking forward to this fight. I knew about it a bit earlier, and I saw Eagles pick Damian Maia, and honestly, that got me alone hyped for the fight, so it's going to be a fun one.
Absolutely.
Damian Maia submission nerd, I think it's the easiest way to say it.
Well, you know that I'm always thoroughly impressed with what Eagle has been able to do in this cage. I'm not as familiar with Tron and this K1 camp, but I'm interested to see what they're able to do this season, you know, towards the end of the season, and kind of what names they're going to really bring to themselves. They've seemed to have pretty good competition so far, and obviously this is going to be a big testing for him. Reversed specs. When I first bought a PlayStation, I'm sure I randomly matched him once, and I was really into the sub game. We had one hell of a fight, went back in like 3 rounds, lost subbing. But this guy's a menace, bro. Like, he's on it with the submission denials. He's overall denials, and he's really on it with the submissions and all of the kind of contextual transitions that come out as a result, Swaggy. And that makes him very dangerous. As even if you're up against somebody like Nate Diaz, who's got a pretty good ground game, I think just being Damian Maia, having that wealth of knowledge, makes him so fucking, like, such a threat on the mat. Like, you just can't let it go there.
Yeah, man. Eagle is a dog. And he's very excited to fight every week. Absolute savage. But I know Tron was very excited for this fight.
Red shorts Maia.
Yes.
Yeah. I now hope he loses. Red shorts. Nah. Red shorts in Maia.
Lads, stop complaining about shorts. God damn, this ain't a fashion fucking show. These guys out here fighting for their lives. They're half-naked guys in a cage wearing shorts. Who gives a goddamn what color those shorts are? No.
That's the worst, Cyrus.
Well, hitting the mat into rubber guard we go. Diaz, a bunch of submissions like Maya, but Maya managing to break out of that rubber guard. He'll hook to Breton in the full guard. A lot of opportunities to go, so it could go either way, but now slowly making his way through the guards here does Eagle MMA swag.
Yeah, nah. Eagle's a dog, and Eagle has him exactly where he wants, so never mind.
That was a good arm catch to get back up.
Beautiful.
As we approach the 3rd minute of this first round, big shout out to one of the staff members and long-term OGs of the community, Sean Corkery, coming through with that sub. 8 months in a row, my man. We appreciate you. Oh my goodness. Eagle MMA showing that Damian Maya is dangerous in all regards, Doctor. That head movement.
Maya coming back out.
Yes, sir. They thought it wasn't possible for old dogs to learn new tricks, but look at Damian right now. Boxing pedigree on display.
He's doing a really good job, and I know, and like he's level 1. Those are level 1 hooks. I think there's level 1 uppercuts. He's a absolute pain to strike with, but but Eagle showing you can do it, and he's doing it in prolific fashion here, working the body as well, getting those teeps out, trying to get that stand a bit lower, so when it hits the mat later on, he's able to really start working. I have just noticed we do have a slight issue of, I believe it's 5 rounds by the looks of it.
Well, they got 3 rounds to work it. And working, they absolutely are swaggy. Lots of combinations on the inside, working through all positions, from striking to clinch and grappling. These guys have not wasted any time so far, and you can see it in the cardio of both fighters. Woo! As he gets that little step-off hook, that was clean.
Yes, staying on the feet with Maya is like, like that is like that. You must have biggest balls in the Discord if you're staying on the feet with Damian Maya. That is insane work right there.
Oh, I love it.
He's landed. Yeah, we know you like it, Doc.
Odran says Doc's Maya would have had this finished by now. Yes, he would have been knocked out. Good, thank God. Eagle MMA is considerably better, and he is out here throwing bombs right now with Damian Maya. Sorry, Doc, I didn't mean to do you dirty, bro.
No, it wouldn't be on the feet for this long. It would definitely have been on the mat, that's for certain. I mean, the fact Eagle is currently swinging about the place, though, is... I mean, it's insane. Nate Diaz is probably one of the best 4-star strikers in this game. Those jab straights are just killer upon killer.
Sorry, bro. I was laughing at Odran. It's a dog catching strays. Nah, it's all love. It's all love.
I was the one inventing K1 Maya, so all I'm saying, I started this off.
Oh, Jesus. Absolutely mad dog, and I'm going to beat Ilya later this evening, my man. Shouldn't have angered this old man. Going into the 2nd round now, Swaggy. Starting out quickly. Looks like Tron is out here trying to use some of those teeps, trying to use the jab and being a bit more rangy. That's a smart move. He does have a range advantage. But then he's getting caught on the inside and trading with what is absolutely the best boxing that Damian Maya ever's done. Oh, my God!
It was only a matter of time, Cyrus. It was only a matter of time until Eagle got clipped while trying to strike with Damian Maya. And when Eagle loses this fight, because it's coming, he's going to get knocked out cold real soon if he doesn't bring it to the ground. I have no words. This is a decision you have to make. And he made that decision. He's not even shooting. He's landing, I don't get it.
No, I don't get it either. Like, I respect the striking. I respect it. I love it.
I do get it. I do get it. I'm not going to lie to you. Because he knows that he can sub this man. Like, that's what he feels against anybody he fights. So he's out here right now, just in his mind, playing with his food a little bit. He's trying to put on a show, trying to make something that people are going to talk about, and going out there and outstriking your opponent with Damian Maya. When you're that good on the mat, that is something to be impressed with. But it is a double-edged sword. Could come to bite him in the ass, but so far, so good. I mean, he's doing a pretty good job, although that block is kind of getting turned into mincemeat right now with some of those combinations from Nate.
He's still going. And he's landing. The block, is definitely starting to go, and that's going to be his biggest issue as the end of this round comes to an end. And I mean, this is probably where you want to be now, shooting a takedown. You've confused your opponent enough with the striking. You've got a stamina advantage, massively so as well. So, I mean, if I'm Eagle right now, I'm probably looking to try get a takedown of some sort and then starting to work it.
Now he does. Lucky D uses the double leg bail just to set up a hook. Like, this man's tricky. This man's what a lot of people would, you know, a lot of people would be beyond frustrated with the way that Eagle can fight. The fact that he decides not to fight like that and just out here point fighting in a striking matchup with Nate Diaz speaks to the volumes and confidence of this man out here, Swag. I'm calling for an uppercut.
Oh.
Why is he not uppercutting? Damien keeps ducking. He keeps ducking.
Y'all are calling it like confidence, but like I got a different word for that, and it's stupid. It is straight stupid. Why are you doing this?
Okay, this is where now Maya needs to actually now start shooting, especially coming into this third round. Oh.
Well, I just want to point this out there, Eagle. I'm also on the PlayStation division, and I did not call you stupid. It was Swaggy. So if you want to ragdoll this man, then please do. Please do.
It was me. I dare you.
I dare you. You're gonna live to regret that, bro. Back out in this third and final round on a big rock from Reverse Specs as he's trying to light him up on the feet right now, working that body. He's only got this round to do it. They've accidentally gone in on a 5-round fight. And they will have to bow knockout if they get past this one, although the pace they're setting, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a finish. Oh my good God.
No, there ain't no way. There ain't no way.
I've got no words.
Love it.
My God.
Love it, love it, love it. Dangerous Damien Maya gets caught!
Oh.
Nate Diaz, 209. Oh, step up.
Oh. Head movement just saving him there. Hooks coming out, uppercuts. Pull back forward, Damien Maya finally gets caught going digging down to that body. The power on Nate Diaz kind of being an enemy here. I think a lot of it has allowed Maya to trade just because the way Nate Diaz just requires so many punches to get all the damage done. And Maya here is still going at it. He's still on the feet. Why? Nobody knows apart from Eagle.
Well, these guys clearly know that it's 5 rounds. They're trying to end the fight. Nate Diaz has him hurt.
Oh!
He pulls guard for the final. I don't even know if there's enough time to get a sub here, to be honest with you.
2 minutes.
There is, I suppose, but it's just that Nate's sub D is so high. Uppercuts traded. Reverse Specs actually.
Sub's coming.
Reverse Specs actually in the worst position, head health wise. Gets caught again.
Oh.
Can he do it? Stacked guard. No.
I feel like Eagle knows he can win this fight on the feet, but Damien Maya's a weird limitation to that fact as well. So it's like, because he's not as fast, he's not as quick. Oh, and the head helps. Isn't. Oh, okay. What in the world?
Can he do it? 50 seconds. 50. 45. Can he do it?
He's just out there throwing uppercuts.
Oh! My God! Wow!
That's why you grapple with a grappler, I feel like. Do not get me wrong. Superb job. Superb job by Eagle MMA there. Like, fantastic showcase. However, by about halfway through that second round, should have shot a takedown. For Nate Diaz, fantastic job. You had difficulties in that first round. That second round, you made those adjustments. In that third round, you just started clipping him, and he did fantastic.
That was cookery out there. It was absolute cookery. It was absolute insanity. I don't know what Eagle was thinking. Whatever camp he's in, they're gonna throw him out. They're gonna be like, no way, you're out of here.
Like, no, genuinely, like, Eagle's like what becoming fastly one of my favorite guys to watch. He's so entertaining in that cage, and what he did tonight was ballsy, stupid as all fucking hell, but it was ballsy. And if he had done it, I mean, everybody would have been singing his praises. So I look forward to seeing Eagle bounce back, but for tonight, it did not go his way. Tron bursts onto the scene and gets a big W for himself and K1, a newly emerging camp who seemingly are doing some good things for their first. Is this their first performance? Am I crazy? Their first performance on a card? I don't know if I've seen K1 before.
They've had 3 fights so far tonight.
No, I mean like outside of tonight.
Oh, is it?
I believe Atakan used to be K1, but I don't know if he can beat with us under the name.
Fair enough, fair enough. Well, if nothing else, a new camp to Primetime MMA, and like I said, eagerly interested to see what these guys are able to do as they progress.
They're going crazy.
Yeah, it's not a bad start for them at all, right? Really not, bro. The next one, however, is a fight that even with their rankings, could have easily seen a little bit up the card. It's going to be between KM Frosty and, of course, NM Naz, who's making a debut fight over on the Xbox division. But before we get to see that, we're going to skip forward to the rest of the card, and I need to set a few things up on the back end, so I'm going to hand you across to Swag and Doc for the next 60 seconds. So I want to hear, guys. I want to hear. When you look forward at the rest of this card, we have the rest of the prelims to go, but I'm talking main card fights. If you had to pick one, gun to your head, what is your fight that you would expect to be in with that fight of the night here this evening?
Listen, there is no way Fadanator versus Atakan's not fighting tonight. Because Fadanator's pound for pound. One of the greatest we've ever seen. No. Scratch that. The greatest we've ever seen. Your other GOATs, they lost this season. Fadanator has not. However, Atakan got the most beautiful style I've ever seen in my entire life. He fights like God's child. He comes out here busting with the spinning elbows and the overhands, the flying knees and the cartwheels. He does it all. It's going to be an exciting fight now.
I mean, Atakan does it all. Fad throws people against the brick wall, punches them a bit, and then chucks them back down to the floor, and that's that. That has been Fad. He's shown a couple of contentions, like the Frosty fight, which has been a back and forth for that earned fight of the night. If you missed it, it is on our YouTube. Go back and watch it. But honestly, Trixie versus Bossman is probably my fight of the night pick. Trixie versus Bossman. Bossman comes out there looking to throw someone's head off, and so does Trixie. Trixie comes out there and looks to put on the wall. His previous fight, the one he's just lost, was against Atakan. Before the number one contender was against Naznim. That earned fight of the night. So I definitely think that fight is also up there. Both of them pure-blooded strikers and put on some utter wars here, Swaggy.
Doc, you know what fight's not going to be fighting tonight?
Do I have to guess, or do you want to just say it?
Nah, it's going to be K-Got Bills versus NBK Net Maximus. And it's not Maximus's fault. It's K's fault. It's K-Got Bill's fault. He needs to pick up the style a little bit. He needs to make it more interesting. Honestly, for me, because I fall asleep during the fights, and I shouldn't be falling asleep during the fights, my notes have suffered because of it. And it's all K-Got Bill's fault.
Wow. I think I didn't feel like that his last fight. The first fight, you know how I felt about that first fight, but outside of that, I feel like the guy's been doing work, and it's good to talk upon, the advancements of styles, and the fact that this is a promotion, of course, where esporting in style, but it is a community that puts on events all about that entertainment, which a lot of these guys understand. So it's about showcasing the highest level skills in an entertaining fashion. Now, when we come into the rest of this, guys, I appreciate you guys covering me for just a moment as we get in and ready for this next fight. It is a fight between the one and only former PlayStation champion, NM Naz, making his debut on the Xbox division, trying to work his way towards that title up against an absolute killer in Frosty MMA, KM's very own, ice in his vein. And I can't wait to see it, man. I can't wait to see it. Like, this fight, we spoke about it a little bit before, right? Like, some people would say, some people would call for like tile fights straight afterwards, of course, and I'm sure Naz, wanted that, and ultimately, but he just got that fight. Much like Marab and Sterling, for a tile, those guys didn't want to take the tile off each other, him and Smudger, which would have been the next, kind of one of the next guys up, so he didn't really want to do that, and he decided to move across the Xbox division. Now, of course, it puts the PlayStation in a bit of a whirlwind, which these guys in the co-main event are going to iron out a little bit later on. But let's be real talk. This is a big opportunity for Naz here this evening. And a big opportunity for Frosty to take off a massive name and kind of ruin the title kind of dreams, if you will, of Naz.
Yeah, especially. So this kind of fight for Frosty is big in the fact he's on that -2. He's lost one, he's lost 2 since the Fad fight. So he's there to make get back into that picture again, and this fight definitely allows him to get onto that main card. But for Naz, it does the same thing. It can allow him to jump up, get off the prelims back onto that main card, and then start making a run all the way up to 21-25 again, which is the end of our season. So between these two, this fight is big in all comprehension for both of them this way.
Yeah, nah, this is a huge fight for the both of them. Frosty's ice cold. So I'm sure Frosty's ready for this. However, Naz is a dog. Naz is an absolute dog, and I really hope Frosty knows to not touch gloves moving into the second and third rounds.
Oh God, I hope so. The McGregor pick, though, I'm surprised how much diff.
Wow.
You're surprised?
Comms curse.
The lead hook, absolutely killer. I'm like, aesthetically, right, these two guys have some of the more appealing styles. Naz has a very unique kind of way that he works his boxing, especially the way that he digs to the body. But Frosty just has a way of kind of gaming himself into every fight. He's happy to chop up that leg. He's a real tactician out here, Swaggy. And I feel like that's kind of what you need up against Naz to really kind of deconstruct what he does so well and how you can make that work against him.
Yeah, bro. To deconstruct what Naz does, you just gotta watch a couple of Naz videos, and realistically, you can get the flow of it. And I think that's what Frosty did. He's looking ice cold like always. But Naz is still scary with Connor, any Connor. And especially this Connor, because this Connor is just scary no matter who's controlling it. So I don't know, Doc. It's still anybody's fight.
Yeah, definitely still anybody's fight. So far, though, the slow, methodical pace of Frosty is arguably kind of winning in terms of damage. I know Naz did get the stun earlier on, but it's just methodical. He's getting that jab out. He's waiting for Naz to duck. He's then throwing a calf kick afterwards. That's kind of destroying that rear leg of McGregor, whilst also getting rid of the power outside of that. Maybe the body kick of Naz is his main shot, but for the most part, it's just Frosty kind of leading the action and Naz trying to find some type of counter.
If that wasn't the end of the round, is that not more damage? Have you noticed at the end of the round, it kind of takes away some of that damage? Is that not a knockdown? Is that not a little more, Swaggy? That felt bad, bro. To the end of the round.
Ice cold. That's what I'm saying. Frosty is ice cold. Frosty is a dog. Woof, woof. And he's always got that bot coming. But what's going on here? Naz is terrifying, though, no matter where he is in the fight. So Frosty still got to stay on his toes here, Doc.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I mean, there was only 16 shots landed by Naz, and Naz still made his claim into that first round, and that's the issue that you can see with McGregor as well. You don't need many shots at all. 16 apparently is enough to possibly win the round here there. So you got to be so careful when engaging in power punching and trade fests that McGregor can cause here, Cyrus.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, Naz might have the cleanest boxing, like, going. Genuinely, the way he puts shots together are way too clean. I don't know if you guys like see some of his work as well on YouTube. He's been putting a lot of shorts together and stuff like that, and videos where he's like been challenged to do very particular things, like play with a certain fighter and only use a certain strike. And that sort of stuff actually does help you improve your game, because it's putting him under restrictions and really making him game plan. And honestly, you can see it in his defense. He's one of the more defensively sound guys, especially with that head movement. And he really utilizes it. Now, of course, Swaggy, it can go against him up against a gamer like Frosty, who's looking to, capitalize on some of those missed head movements, zigging when he should zag. But more often than... Oh, just like that. Just like that.
Yeah, Frosty's ice cold. You can really never slack when Frosty's in front of you, because Frosty will pick that slack up and he'll put it down.
Yeah, he really does. Now. He's like, Naz is walking forward, and then Frosty's jabbing, seeing how he reacts, and then doing it perfectly, and then when he knows, like, he's kind of getting the feel that a counter's going to come, he's like firing the shots and then instantly walking out of the pocket because he knows that Naz is expecting him to stay there and then land a big counter. So it's kind of a lot of the way Frosty's defense technique there is just purely using that footwork. Well.
Oh, there it is, right hand. Oh my God!
Oh!
Is he gonna do him right? Oh my God!
And he did. Jesus.
Frosty
just
enemy.
fought. Frosty just fought like he had to protect the Xbox division. He just fought for his life in that cage, and Naz falls to 0-1.
Bro, that Frosty man, killer. Ice in his veins. This man is a problem, calm, calculated, an absolute true gamer. Just his ability to adjust in the moment, to utilize whatever slight advantages he has to find himself a victory. He did it with Giga, which is not an easy pick in this weight class either, Doc. I mean, I feel like for all the props to this man right now.
Yeah, definitely all the props to him. I mean, Giga versus McGregor. Arguably, McGregor, he's a 4-star, but he definitely doesn't feel like it sometimes. That's why we do have the bans in place, because sometimes you do come across some of these fighters that are that way. Frosty chose to not ban, ended up Naz picking McGregor, he picked Giga, and somehow, even with kind of that handicap there, Frosty came out and put on a hell of a performance there, and he did a fantastic job. He played it slow, he played it steady, used the footwork defensively, didn't get hit too much, but then he was hitting Naz with that jab rear hook whenever he was timing it, and that timing just was perfect each and every time, near enough.
Absolutely. Well, look, Naz took a big risk, didn't go his way here this evening. We know that this guy will come back and try to put a run together, get himself in that positive to end out the season. There's obviously still, and this is important to note as well, maybe at this point, if not, maybe no more perfect of a point. I had a message recently from Holdy that we saw a little bit earlier on explaining about the Grand Prix and the way that works. So if you're a little newer to Primetime MMA, the way that we work here is that we have about a 3-month season at the moment. That's our current cycle out here, Doc, about a 3-month season. And to kick off those seasons, we run a Grand Prix. And if you're new, the way that those Grand Prix work is that the top 15/16 of the former season, or the previous season, get an invitation to an elimination style 16-man tournament. The winner of which walks away as the undisputed champion. It's an incredible way for us to start out the seasons. Dark always brings a lot of action, to the beginning of those seasons, and really kicks some of these fighters off with some incredible amounts of momentum and storylines behind them as they build in towards that season. So the last couple of cards, maybe people don't realize as much as they should. They are as important, if not more important, than any other point in that, in the season, because ending out very strong puts you into a position where you can get into that Grand Prix and really kick off this next one with one hell of a bang.
Yeah, a lot of these sites is kind of where you start to see the dominant people start to rise out. Previous top 16, they're looking to stake their claim. Especially that lower half, they get a chance to fight for that belt, to make their claim, to make themselves known, and then really showcase their ability during that GP. And that really, a lot of the time, you do see a lot of new names come into the place, especially in that lower half, and it's always enjoyable to see how the division has developed from season to season here, Swag.
Yeah, no, the seasons have been going crazy. Every season we get brand new fighters, and brand new names really break out of the pot. And it's just always beautiful to see, those guys come from the uned and make their names, kind of like Holdy did today.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure, man, for sure. Talking about fighters that make their names, some people make their names with entertaining performances, with flashy knockouts or incredible submissions. Others make it with being a little bit of a bane of the community, and K-Got Bills definitely fits that bill, the latter half of that. He came through and on one of his first fights on the live card, managed to earn himself a suspension because he took a man down and did nothing for 15 minutes and bored us all to holy hell. But then earned a lot of hate as a result from a lot of people within the community. And you laugh, right? And that's from myself and from everybody else. It was not an enjoyable experience. Yeah. But I will give a man credit when it's due. And that last time out, Doctor, he came out, he took the guy down, as he wants to do. He's a grappler, right? And there's no problem with that.
He picked Boris Smith.
And he worked. He worked, bro, and he got a finish as a result. And now with this new invigorated style where he's now kind of being forced to really, really, push his skills and take a little bit of those risks, I think we're actually going to see the best version of K-Got Bills that has ever been seen. And I feel like that's an exciting prospect as we look forward in this division and some of the matchups that it gives him, especially this next one up against MBK's Maximus, who is an incredible threat to be going up against, and quite honestly, a guy that I expect to see in and amongst that top 10 very, very soon.
Yeah, so K-Got Bills, second round submission last time out using Bryce Mitchell. By the looks of it, this time around, we're seeing a Paul Craig pick. Not really a shock, let's be real. Paul Craig, submission nightmare on the ground. It's the one place you don't want to be is on the ground with Paul Craig. But the other guy there is Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland, long, lanky, chin of stone. Got some serious power as well, Swaggy. So I think this is definitely the case of, if you're MBK Maximus here, you're keeping it on the feet. If you're K-Got Bills, you are double-leg bailing for your life because Paul Craig doesn't have any turning takedowns.
Yeah, no, he's gonna double leg bail for his life. It's gonna be a shoot fest. It's gonna look like Swaggy versus Romero out there. Just he might not actually slam him, and it's gonna give me PTSD. And I really, really hope Maximus keeps it on the feet with Kevin Holland.
I was going to say, bro, Maximus is probably going to be more than a ragdoll. He's going to be... I'm joking. I'm sorry, bro. Starting out, we got K-Got Bills, of course, with, if you didn't know, Paul goddamn Craig. Already takes his back, already takes him to the mat. Damn, this guy's got his crowd so loud, bro. Turn him down a little bit. Deafening. He obviously likes to hear the fans as they go crazy, whether they're booing against him or whether or not they're cheering him on to get that submission. He's working though, man. He's got him low stamina as well, and that's fucking bad, man. Against Paul Craig, against K-Got Bills, Doc. I mean, Jesus.
You got the Das, you've got the Kimura as a potential option here. Does deny the top mount position now into sprawl. Up is arguably the place you want to go. You can get against the cage, but it gets denied, and that's a dangerous aspect. I mean, if I'm Paul Craig, I'm power transitioning, going into that backside, and then possibly threatening into back sitting, working from there afterwards. But instead, Kevin Holland decides to pull into half guard. Top mount's the more dangerous place, even with the low grappling stat. Kimura out of nowhere, it seems.
Yeah, and look, he doesn't manage to...
Okay.
Yeah, he's not going to get it, man, but ultimately he's in top control now. Still not where you want to be against Paul Craig Swag, but fuck, it's better than being on bottom.
Nah, man, you do not want to be in Paul Craig's guard like this because Paul Craig has everything from his guard. Paul Craig loves his guard. He has everything from his guard. And as we can see...
Trying all the stem, taking the arm, making the transition into the sub, continuing to drain it, having the advantage.
He's got that deny. Got it. Easy. One more submission. BJJ Master, that is hilarious, but please stop. As we continue, K-Got Bills showing that he's got skills and already sinking in a very, very deep submission. Now he's going to be moving across for that Das, and this is done. Zero stamina, clinches in.
Well, he may have raced that actually. Yeah, he's raced it.
Oh wow. Okay, fair.
Oh.
Fair. Separate, man. Separate. Run for your life. What are you doing, Kevin?
There you go.
He was letting his stab build a little bit, I believe. It's kind of smart.
Run, bro. Run. Don't let this guy get you back to half guard. Because this is what he wants all day, every day. If you're against a guy like K-Got Bills, and he's... All you need to do is throw straights every time he steps in range and guard the double leg like your life depends on it, Doc. Those two things right there win you every single fight. They win you every single fight.
I mean, yes, that's also true. But also stamina. He's looking for the subs. He's looking for the grappling. That's his entire game plan. If you can have the stamina advantage, you saw it.
But that's what leads you. That's what I mean. You cannot lose if you're literally just going straight lead hook. Every time he steps into range, he can't clinch you. It stops it, right? So what does he have to do? He has to shoot a double leg. But you're camping the shit out of that, and you sprawl it. It's dunzos, bro. It's dunzos. Then the guy's got to revert to some grappling to set the rest of it up. And I don't know if Kay's got that, because we haven't seen him have to do it yet. Kevin Holland, obviously a lot more comfortable up here, Swaggy. But whew, he really, really needs to get busy on the feet. He cannot allow Kay to get on the inside.
Yeah, bro. Kevin needs to work, and he needs to work fast.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, now we're in the triangle.
No. He needs to get out of this. He needs to be smart.
Nice denies, and he's going to survive this transition as a result, or submission as a result. I mean, look, Kevin can grapple as well, but why? Why, bro? Why would you do it to yourself? Other than the fact just to, like, I suppose maybe it's just because Kay isn't going to let him strike, so he's just going to be back in this position in a moment, so he may as well take the top control, maybe, Doc? I don't know. That's the only thing I can imagine.
Yeah, maybe. I mean... There's both logic to it and not logic to it. It's one of those double-edged swords, I suppose, but it's stuff like this where it gets scary, especially when you end up in positions like the full guard of Paul Craig. It's just not where you want to be. Top mount, however, definitely where you want to be. If I'm Maximus right here, posture up, ground and pound all the way, just wing shots and hope you can do it, but getting denied right now.
Yeah, those denies were crucial right there because he was able to get into half guard. And from there, he's got some toys. Oof. Inside control.
Busy fight. Both guys working very, very hard from all positions. I would like to see a separation from Kevin, especially as he loses positions like side control or top mount, anything with any serious significance. Because, of course, this is just where you're gonna get fucked. Rubber guard is a hard position to be in, especially when you haven't got stacked. And especially when you're up against Paul Craig, because he's just too smooth on the mat.
That's a one deny there, drain the stam all the way. It does. Okay, got Bills. Now drain it even further, going for it, and that is all she wrote. Second triangle choke being sunk in. Perfect in the full guard. I mean, that's just, it really does encompass the dangerous old Paul Craig. He doesn't need to be in top. It was always working from the bottom, was where he's having the most success. Kevin Holland felt a bit too comfortable in that full guard, and that's sometimes the way it goes.
Once again, another finish from this man, Swaggy. I will say that, of course, even in the chat right now, some people giving a little bit of hate to this man because of his style. But I'll be real with you. There's ways to defend it. There's ways to defend it, man. Just fucking throw it straight. Like, in that fight, and I don't want to be too overcritical because I understand the frustration that you can, that you can feel when you're against somebody that's double leg bailing you and stuff like that over and over again, Swag. But in that fight, Maximus, like, he was throwing a lot of hooks. He was moving a lot. He was using head movement. If he had just started using the straight a little bit more, started planting his feet a little bit more, he would have had so much more success. And I feel like that's a learning curve a little bit.
Yeah, no. I agree. My opinion changed a little bit. You know, K definitely got that that black belt dog in him. Like not a normal dog, like a dog that just left the BJJ mats. No, I'm saying this because we haven't seen anything. I don't think he has any striking. I think he has zero striking. So that's why he has all the subs. He's goated at the wrestling, very good on the mats. I would just like to see some striking. Just prove to me you have a little bit.
Do you know what? I don't disagree, bro. But this is the thing. It's like Damian Maia. Or when Goat, right, Goat of MMA, before he really got hands,
he saw Damian Maia strike earlier.
Yeah, I know, but like he shouldn't have. Like he shouldn't have, bro. Like,
that's the reason he got KO'd.
Yeah, so like I don't even want to say that. I feel like it's not on K to make it a striking affair. It's on his opponent. And there's ways to do it. And when K Got Bills moves up that the division, he is on Xbox, right? Yeah. I was gonna say. Yeah, so when he moves up that Xbox division, and he was ranked number 11 coming into this one. So I mean that was probably gonna make him just inside the top 10. I don't see him doing that. Like, he can't get away with that same style against some of these other guys. So I want to see what he reverts to when he's pushed to that level. And he's getting to that point now where it's do or die. So maybe we're going to see a new level to his game. Maybe he's been hiding it the entire time. Or maybe he will get exposed, but only time will tell. And as we close out the season, it's an exciting time whether or not you love or hate to see K-Got Bills as he continues to get win after win in his name. I will say though, Dr. Goddamn Who, Dr. Swaggy Kush, that we are ready for the featured fight of tonight's prelims, and it is between two absolutely fucking savages, my man. It couldn't get a better featured fight for tonight's Primetime 122. It's going to be between Not Nasty and SVG's very own Goated. Now, you guys know that I am a massive, massive fan of Not Nasty and what he brings to the table. I became a fan after this guy's debut on the card, where he lost, but did so with what was an incredible fight. A fight where he really showed all of his skills. And Doc, he's had a little bit of a rough run because he won a couple, fought a really, really tough guy last time out, and kind of suffered a loss. But now he's going to be bouncing back with what I feel is an excellent dance partner in SVG Goated, a guy that is able to do it everywhere, but has at least historically done it a lot on the feet. And I feel like that maybe plays to Not Nasty, who has one of the cleanest boxing styles that you'll see on the game.
Yeah, and Not Nasty. I mean, as you mentioned, his first fight was against Brazil Lucas on the live card. It was impeccable from both guys. His ground game was shown off. He was playing a lot of defensive into that type of style, and he did really well, executed it fantastically. And then from previous onwards, he's shown consistently over and over again that he's got superb striking. And with that, he's going to Jorge Masvidal pick, which is just encapsulates that. First time out, we do see an SVG member, though, picking a calf pick, Swag. So, bound to be interested. I haven't actually used a calf in this game, I don't think.
So, that's calf camp. And I'm surprised that this is the first time we've seen an SVG guy pick a calf, because
I mean, it ain't ever, bro. Sorry to interrupt, but it ain't ever. I know that they have in the past, but we haven't seen them a lot recently. I think is maybe what Doc meant.
Yeah, Doc's always bugging. That's the problem. But I'm excited to see the kind of style this the calf has, like what kind of crazy stuff he's about to do, because SVG's known for wacky shit, Doc.
Yeah, it is. It really is. It's one of those camps that finds weird quirks about the striking, like the flying bicycle kick earlier on in this game's life cycle.
That's fire, though.
It is, but just to chuck this kind of spanner in the works, we know what SVG does, but is that what Goated does? It isn't. It isn't, is it, Doc? Like, he's a lot more on the technical side of things. He has that in his back pocket, but, like, he's the most technical SVG fighter I've seen, and that's not disrespect to the camp. They're just on the wilder side of things. They have controlled chaos. He's just controlled. He's controlled out there. He's technical in all of the things that he does.
Yeah, he does a really good job with how he fights. He's very boxing orientated, as you can see so far, working the head and the body. He's arguably winning so far. As I say that, though, the massive counter strike there, and Not Nasty now putting himself on the front foot again, trying to get some of that pressure going here, Swag.
Yeah, you jinxed him. Dr. Jinx at it again. Yeah, no, he doesn't fight with that crazy SVG style, but he is very calm and poised right now. I like his energy, Cyrus.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, I feel like we spoke a lot about Not Nasty because everybody is running hot on the performances as of recently. Even his 2 losses with Performance of the Night or Fight of the Night awards that he won. So, it just speaks to the entertainment, the excitement that he brings to the octagon. But I feel like Goated is trying to steal a little bit of that. The way he's fighting is impressive. It's action-packed. He's trying to push for that finish, not wasting any time or allowing his opponent, Not Nasty, to get settled. And he's doing it cleanly. The head movement on point. The shot selection on point. And he's keeping those hands high every step of the way, Doc.
Yeah, there's back and forth action so far. Both of them, they're either landing on the block or hitting each other in the heads, and it's doing quite a lot. Maybe a few more kicks, I would hope, just to mix it up a bit, using a bit more of that distance, maybe work a bit in the body. A couple body kicks would work beautifully here so far, but again, both of these guys calm, patient. It does feel like right now it's kind of the fight where it's like you're looking for that one big rock or stun here, Swag, or stuff really starts to kick off, and
like that.
Yeah, apparently so.
And that Dr. Bag is very red as well. He's taking a lot of damage. Lucky for him, the clock is ticking, and all he has to do is survive.
Ooh.
What a fucking fight, man. We knew it would be. We knew it would be, Doc. You know, when you send me those little fights, when you send me the fights at a glance, right? And I have a little look over them every now and again, because I get to give them a glance at first before I sit down and give them a proper look. There's a couple of names that always like just jump off the fucking page. And this was one of those fights that jumped off the page. I thought it was a beautifully boxed matchup, and these guys are proving you exactly right. You know, they are highly ranked in this division. Have a big opportunity ahead of them, and if they get a win here, you know, they propel themselves likely into that top 10, and you know what that means, Doc? It means that you're only 1 or 2 away from putting your name in the hat.
For sure. 1 or 2 wins away from fighting for that undisputed title. Did you get no?
Oh my god! Oh my god! What the?
His name says not nasty, but he is fucking nasty, bro. He is a menace. Ice cold.
He was losing the fight. I'm sorry to say that he just lost the first round. His head health was shattered, and then it was slip, hook, knocked out.
Bro.
Holy shit.
They say KO of the night. Maybe KO of the year. Yeah, absolutely. I just realized, Swaggy, I've had your body poking out the bottom of the cams the entire time. That's hilarious. I'm gonna have to fit that. I'm gonna have to fix that. Oh, Jesus. Not nasty, though, with one of the most savage knockouts in primetime history. Put it in your books. Mark it down, because when we ask for submissions come the end of this year for knockouts of the year, I hope that we get a couple of people reminding us of this absolute beautiful, beautiful fucking knockout.
That's insane. He was losing.
It came out of nowhere, I think, is the more insane part. It was just like one head movement off to the side. Like, it looked like it was going downhill for Nasty. Goatage was putting on an impressive performance with the likes of a car fighter there. And yeah, I'm lost for words, I think. That was out of nowhere. That was amazing. That's the KO of the night the main card have got to beat so far. That probably is the leading KO of the year, as you mentioned earlier. And it only gets better from here. We go into the main card, and Swag, it is the primetime guarantee all over again here tonight.
It's going crazy right now. We are seeing banger after banger after banger after banger after banger. We've seen so many people get knocked the fuck out. We've seen some people get subbed. We've seen people go to sleep. It's been crazy. It's been absolutely wild. And it's not even close to done. We still got the entire main card and the co-main and main event. 2 title fights, Cyrus.
Absolutely. Look, if you're new around here and you don't know, primetime is the place to be. Who has more fun on a Saturday night than MMA fans and primetime fans around the goddamn world? We put on these shows. We love doing it, and it's because you guys continue to come out here, put on incredible performances. The community that we have is fucking phenomenal, and yeah, you make this shit all possible. These guys in the booth, the guys in the back, and of course all of you guys that put in these performances and support every single week. Year-round, guys, nobody takes as many or as little weeks off as Primetime MMA. Promise you that. With that being said, Primetime 122, as these guys mentioned, only approaching the halfway mark of the card. As we skip across, you can see that we have still, 8 fights left to go of what is set to be absolute, pure virtual violence. As we get ready for all of that, if you're a little bit new to the scene, we do take a customary 60-second break at this stage to get all of these guys ready, iron out any of the potential technical issues that we can envision. So please make sure to get all of your refreshments, get yourself ready and prepped for what is set to be absolute chaos as we approach the main card of Primetime 122. What is going on, you beautiful bunch of savages? Primetime 122, your main card in full effect here this evening. We have had absolute non-stop virtual violence through the entirety of these prelims, and we expect that to continue to no end here this evening. And as you have seen, if you have joined us throughout those preliminary bouts, joining me to call all of this action is the dynamic duo, two of my favorites in the game, Swaggy Dr. Kush and Dr. Goddamn Who, the voices of Primetime Postmortem, and calling the fights here this evening. Lads, an incredible set of fights. Now, we'll go to you first here, Doctor. I expect these prelims to be living up to that and some. We know that with Primetime MMA, virtual violence is not in short supply. Like, these guys all deliver it. And when we go through these cards, it continues to heat up. And with names like Warrior, Odran setting us next, John Africa, Sean Corkery. I mean, fuck, man. If you are a fan of the esporting and competitive community around UFC 5 and all of these combat sports games, there is no other place to be than right here, right now, watching these guys do their thing on a Saturday night. It's incredible, bro. It's incredible.
Yeah, it really, really is. I mean, if you want to talk about Odran versus EK Warrior, that's going to be a potential fight of the night on already other fight of the nights of contenders we've already had. That's going to be a striking masterclass. John Africa is a game plan master across the board, and Corkery, part of that B3 camp, he is terror on the feet. But yeah, I mean, and that's just the two fights beginning on the main card. Then you go into future fights like Trixie versus Bossman, mix-ups, Vut, Driz, Mud. Like, this main card is utterly stacked, even before you go into the co-main and main event here tonight, Swaggy.
Yeah, this card is absolutely stacked out of its mind, and we just saw some crazy shit happen on the prelims. Now we're getting into the main card, where we're going to see some massive names. And before the co-main and main event, we also got Driz versus Mozzie and Vuk versus Kaihan, which are two absolute bangers. We have a bunch of bangers, Cyrus.
Oh, absolutely. And I just saw that Kaihan is now in K1 as well. Wow, okay. I know Kaihan very, very well, and seen his do the thing for in this cage for some time. I think that him versus Vuk is one of those matchups which, I mean, it's so fucking good that, like, you can't wait to see it. And do you know what? Let's waste no more time. Let's get straight into this next one. The first fight of your main card, and that is between EK Warrior and Odran. This is in 4K, as the main card should start out in, and we hope that this is a trend that continues. Corey Sandhagen, Doc, up against Peter Yan. Bantamweight's a fun weight class, and of course, there is no restrictions now that we approach this main card.
Yeah, no, all stars are allowed 5, 4.5, 4, 3.5, even if you dare. It's probably an odd move, but hey, it's your call. But Sandhagen, typically a kickboxer, can grapple at a moment's notice, but he's going to be wanting to use that range, keeping that distance across the board, Swag. However, Peter Yan, the complete opposite. He's a brawler, keeps it in tight, and he's superb in that boxing aspect.
Oh.
Yeah, man, Peter Yan is a absolute demon in the pocket. You do not want to stand in the pocket with Yan. He's just going to land it up and beat your butt. It is going to be a bad time for you, Cyrus.
Absolutely. He is trying to press him right now, really making this cage feel claustrophobic, but nice body work from EK Warrior. And the uppercut, to boot.
Holy shit.
Yeah. That's what happens when you duck into an uppercut, and you've got to be careful with ducking's part of your normal game. Maybe try to remember not to do it as much. But so far, Odran's walking into the pocket, and every shot Warrior has thrown so far is basically landing.
Fuck my life. What am I witnessing? What is happening?
Move your head!
What did he do to him? What did he say to Sandhagen? What lines did he cross? He just took his soul, Swaggy. He just did the old MK out here, bro. He took his soul.
He finished him. That's just crazy. That's insane. I have no words. I was concerned at first because when Peter Yan gets cracked, that shit not looking good. Oh my God. Did he prove Me right. That he dogged him. That shit was crazy. Doc, that was bad.
Yeah, that was bad. I mean, calling it bad, I feel like is an understatement. What happened there was Warrior just threw shots and they had aimbot. It seemed they just landed every time. Every shot that he fired just was landing, and that was kind of it. There's not much else to really say there, to be honest.
UFC 5 hacks confirmed that was 100% hit rate, definitely aimbot identified on Primetime 122 here this evening. No, that was fucking crazy though. What a performance by EK Warrior, and you know who's expecting to have just as big of a performance here this evening? That's the next two competitors. Obviously only one of them can be right, but it is between the two absolute legends of this community at this stage now, between what remains of John Africa, one of the camp leaders, and of course the game planner over at What Remains. A guy that likes to talk the talk, cut some incredible promos, and a guy that we will see on commentary in the near future. He is going to go up against longtime moderator here at Primetime MMA, incredible all-round veteran of the community, Swaggy, a man that has silky smooth striking and puts it together better than most. That is the one and only Sean Corkery. What an incredible bout between these two competitors here this evening. Matchmakers couldn't have got it any more right, and we don't like to give Doc compliments, but he did good here. He did real good.
Doc doesn't get it right often. And this is one of those times that he kind of got it right. This is gonna be a really good fight. John Africa's got that dog in him. Sean's got that dog in him. We're gonna hear a lot of barking. It's gonna be a good fight. Doc, talk if you want to. I don't know if you.
Shall I just leave at this point? I'm just saying.
Brilliant, bro.
We want Jay. We want Jay.
Wow.
Well, we got Jay. We want Jay Chance. Started by Swaggy Dr. Kush. Those guys normally at each other's throats, so I think he's just taking the opportunity here this evening to get one over on Doc. And I can't blame him. I can't blame him at all. But they touched them up, Doc. They touched them up. And we are seeing Stephen Wonderboy Thompson on the side of John Africa, and that Leon Rocky Edward pick from Sean Corkery.
Thompson's a wild pick only because of how, purely striking he is. He does strike him well, but it leaves you no room to be shooting takedowns at all. And if he wants to be doing that later on in this fight, that may come back to bite him in the ass. But so far, he's looking good. He's looking composed, engaging in that middle to long range distance, which is what you want to be using when you're using the karate stance of Stephen Wonderboy here.
Well, just to jump in real quick, isn't this kind of what happened to John last time? Was that he was on a title run and he picked a guy that had just come out and it didn't go his way? Am I dreaming there? Isn't that what happened? He kind of goes some wild picks sometimes, and it makes it really fun, but sometimes it's going to play to your advantage, sometimes it's not, and I feel like he's learned from that, Swaggy, and I feel like this is maybe a calculated pick to try and counter some of the things that Sean does so well.
I like the Wonder Boy pick. I don't like that they both have blue shorts on. I'll tell you that. I don't like that, but I do like the Wonder Boy pick. And he's working with him very well. He's managing his distance. He's doing what he's got to do. Just Leon's such a savage in the pocket.
He's actually getting weirdly though, as you were saying that, he started getting really the better of the exchanges in the pocket. He's letting straight lead hook, uppercuts, all of these things, giving a bit of a variance to the angles that are coming Sean's way, and giving at least some problems so far, Doc. I kind of like what I'm seeing.
I mean, both of them are throwing nicely. Their timings, it's more about they're just trying to get the general idea of how they each are going to engage in the pocket. Both of them being methodical and calm, and honestly, for both of them, they're looking very good. Calm and composed in most parts, right?
Yeah, no, they're fighting cool, calm, zen, collected out there. They're looking real good. Both of them are. They're just trading, Cyrus.
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing. I feel like this is favoring Thompson right now. It's favoring John Africa. I feel like this is exactly what he envisioned. The switching of the stances, the attacking to the leg and the body, trying to be a bit more rangy, and then really opening up with some of those boxing combinations on the inside. He's given Sean a lot of problems. And Doc, I feel like the clinch might be the answer for him. Make some of this inside fighting a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the elbows of Edwards, they can do some serious damage, and you can get work cuts that way, and then it opens one or two cuts, and you can start working them with those hooks and the straights as well. Stuff like that. I mean, yeah, I like the idea behind it, just a bit out of range and ill-timed. Yeah, so far, though, leading into Thompson's corner so far, I would say, Cyrus.
Yeah, I mean, uncharacteristically, Sean was missing shots there. Swag, you know what I mean? Like, he's normally like a high percentage hitter. He doesn't really miss many shots. I don't know if that's a bit of ring rust or maybe a little bit of frustration playing out in this one.
Could be ring rust. He hasn't fallen to the bright lights in a while. It could also be that. John Africa's here every Saturday. You know, this ain't new to John. John don't take breaks. So John's just looking gorgeous out there, and he's making Sean miss a little bit, Doc.
Yeah, he definitely is, but he's doing good. The game plan so far by John Africa is well timed, well suited, working, kicking the body, boxing the head. Edwards, I think,
Nice.
having a few issues, as you can see, they're getting stunned, but he's still in this fight. There's by no means both of them are still in this fight. Nobody's got a clear victor. Just so far, it seems to be John Africa leading the fight as of current.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, no, John is leading.
Oh!
Sean gets a big rock, the biggest moment in the fight for Leon Rocky Edwards and Sean Corkery supporters going mad around the world. He attacks the body now. I think that's a good move, Doc. After a little bit of success up top, he's still behind, so he needs to continue to try and put money in the bank to edge out towards the end of the second and third round.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, looking at the play style so far, Edwards is falling into the type of fight John Africa wants. He wants it in that middle to long range a lot of the time, and that's what Edwards is doing. I feel like if Edwards comes into the pocket and just engages, yeah, okay, may not be winning the head health as much, but he's got the power, he's got the punch stats to be able to deal with that, and I think that's what he needs to be doing. He doesn't want to be playing the long range. He wants to be come in the pocket using those hooks, uppercuts. If you put Stephen Thompson against the cage wall, there's very little options Stephen Thompson has. His main thing right now is that footwork, and as soon as you cut that off, he's going to having more success here.
Nice.
Oh,
Body, head. The thing that John Africa is doing so goddamn well is one thing that Jade Dime speaks about all the time, and that's that when you get your opponent hurt, go to the body, man. They move their head a lot. Go to the body. Really punish them. Look at that clinch. Elbows on the inside. John putting it all together. Beautiful work from what is an absolute virtuoso at the entire mixed martial arts game. John Africa dialed in and looking to turn it up right now, Swag.
Yeah, he is. He's looking locked in. Oh! And he gets him on the canvas. Now he's just gonna look to finish him here, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah, the head health of Edwards is severely compromised. The stamina as well. It's just not going well. It's 1-2 shots, rocking the head health. Now he's jumping on, looking for the ground pound finish and not managing it. But 20 seconds left in the round, and
well, look, Doc, you asked the question at the beginning of the fight, if he needs to take him down, how's he going to do it? John Africa answered it late in the second round, and it was that left hand. Turns out that left hand Larry, also known as John Africa, has absolutely entered the arena here this evening and is putting on a phenomenal performance, making mincemeat of Leon Edwards' face. We have seen left hook Larry, bro. Left hook Larry, always. But let's be real. We've seen crazier things happen. It's not over till it's over. John Africa's kind of absolutely doing whatever he wants right now, but he's got to be careful. A wounded lion is still very dangerous. Oh, wow.
Oh, the head health of Edwards is just ruined at this point. He's taken so many shots through the block, on the block, past the block, and now it's just a case of he needs that one shot to finally do it, and that straight seems to be his true counter here so far.
Oh, lovely work. Straight down the barrel, Leon. Hit, rocked, dropped. And John does it again, Swaggy. He does it a goddamn again. If you are a fan of John Africa and what he brings to the Octagon, you are absolutely overjoyed with the performance he was able to put on here this evening against a tried and tested name like Sean Corkery. Goddamn, take a bow is all I can really say for this man. Incredible.
It was a beautiful win by John. John always does that, though. John comes out and John performs. No matter where he is, no matter what banner he's fighting under, no matter who he's fighting, he comes out and he leaves his heart in the cage. And shout out John. John's a great fighter. Doc.
Yeah, no, John did a really good job there. The first round, kind of slow pace, kind of figuring each other out. That second round, as it progressed, it was just a case of you could start to see the damage accumulated by John. He was very much 1-2s down the middle, always there, always existing. And then after that fact, it was just the damage that just led to it. And then entering into that third round, it really was kind of done and dusted. There was very little Sean could do, and it just happened over time. And that was the fight he played, a timing game of just working him slowly and slowly down to the point where it was just inevitable that he was going to kind of get that KO.
Absolutely. An incredible fight. 8 stuns, 3 knockdowns on the side of fucking John Africa, man, who had the performance of his life here this evening. Man is trying to put together a late run as we approach the season ends of season 1 here at UFC 5 Primetime MMA. With that one in the books, that was our second fight of the main card. We'll have a little look forward. We had 8 fights scheduled, 2 are down. That leaves 6 to go, Doctor. The next one right here are between 2 guys that are no joke. They are well accustomed to not only main card spots, but main event spots, and that is 2 former champions, BFAP Trixie, FSK Bossman. Jesus, man, do I need to say any more? Do I need to say any more with these 2 guys?
Should we just get into the fight? Because that's it. Like, Trixie, notorious in all aspects, go to Primetime coming out of UFC 4 into UFC 5. Had a bit of difficulties his last slot being to Atakan, who's fighting against Fadanator. But Trixie's fighting another up-and-comer contender who's looking killer, using Volkanovski as well. That is a wild pick. You got to assume that McGregor's banned here, so Trixie's gone. He's Max Holloway pick, who we did see him debut on the live card with. And now here we are, and into the fight we go, Swag.
I love the Max Holloway pick by Trixie. I can assume that Trixie's going to he's gonna do a lot of fun stuff in this fight. And Boss Man has a big opportunity because Trixie's coming off of a loss, which Trixie's not coming off of losses often. So his headspace might be a little off right now. So now's the time for Boss Man to really jump on this and get the dub here. But talking about Trixie needs the win. Trixie needs to get back in the win column. You know why Trixie's here.
People may not know this, but Trixie's Max Holloway is maybe one of the best Max Holloways that you'll ever see. He does this thing where he switches stance and throws an advancing jab, and it's just too clean. He covers distance in very tricky and deceiving ways. It kind of gives false pressure to his opponents and allows him to set up things like the uppercut that you saw moments ago. He has got to be a little bit worried, I suppose, about some of the damage that may come back his way. Volkanovski does hit a lot harder, Doc, but I don't think that's going to be too concerning for BFAP Trixie, who has always had ultrasound defense, at least to this point in his career.
Yeah, Trixie's defense is impeccable. He can make changes. One of his most recent KOs has been taking a back step and then finding the straight there. So he's used to that minute bits of footwork that can really lead to the biggest encounters sometimes as well. So against someone who's like as pressuring and as advanced as Boss Man as well, that's going to play even more dividends to be using here tonight, Swaggy.
Woo! Yeah, absolutely. And Trixie is... Wow. Trixie is moving that head like crazy right now, and it is very noticeable, Cyrus.
Absolutely, it is. Other than the fact that his right eye's got a bit of a laceration, I was going to say he was kind of floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee, but Bossman definitely getting some connections out there. Now able to secure a takedown, Doctor, with 1:40 left to work. You don't often see Trixie on his back, but he is, or even grappling, period. But he is from BFAP, built for ankle picking, my man, so he's no slouch on the mat, although may not have enough time to get anything really working, down here.
Yeah. I
What
mean,
BFAP stands for?
Yeah, built
Built
for
for ankle
ankle picking, yeah.
Now, Trixie used to the game. He's got a bunch of wrestlers in camp like Dirty Dave, and so he's used to this aspect. Going for the armbar though, straight out the gates, getting that deny. That's a big one as well. Going for that fake there, the stamina.
Oh, he faked him, but he's going to get this one cinched
He's
up.
going to get this, yeah.
Yeah,
Get the
there it is.
denies,
There it is.
go for it.
The thing is, he
With
needs about like
Max's
5 of
face.
them. Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
if you use Max, you ain't getting it. You ain't getting a one shot with Max. It ain't
Not no
happening.
shot. 5 might not even do it.
Oh, 5 might not even you're right, bro. Nice elbow, making the last couple of seconds count, Doctor. An interesting first round, one that Trixie securely took with that stun. A knockdown, I think, as well, was it? Or was it just 2 stuns? I don't know.
They did show the stats just there, but then you have very quick in its reaction. But yeah, I mean, so far, Trixie probably won that round. Did look like Bossman was going to try to take away that round with the takedown, but then Trixie came back, used the arm bars, and so he's kind of showed that he's both on the feet and on the ground, that he's understands the game. The main thing Bossman's got going for him, I would argue, is the fact Volkanovski's power can knock a man clean out in seconds, so you do have to be very, very careful with that. But the second round, Trixie's notoriously the best round, and he's showcasing that here as he's just working past that block and just constant with that pressure of Max Holloway here, Swaggy.
Yeah, no, that Max Holloway pressure could be scary because he just throws so fast. But Volk got a nice chin. It must be that bald head, Cyrus.
Absolutely, it is. It's +10 to your chin health, absolutely. And he needs it because Max Holloway is absolutely turned his head into a speed bag right now and is lighting him up. Although Volkanovski utilizing that superior bold power to get some of those big shots to trade off and do some damage of his own, Doc, which is vital. He can't allow Trixie to run away with this. He doesn't have 5 rounds, which both guys are accustomed to. They only have 3 to get the job done.
Yeah, slow and steady wins the march, and seems like it's the case of a Bossman. He's tightening up, walking forward, hoping that his block can survive the onslaught of punches, then looking for the big power counters in the trades that Trixie's blitzing with someone like Max Holloway's guard here.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Another big rock for Max Holloway, a.k.a. BFAP Trixie. The stream freezes up for a moment, but they are back! And we do not get to miss any of the action as we approach the 2-minute mark. Once again, BFAP Trixie lights him up.
Nice, great shot. Keep the pressure on.
That
Just saying,
Go on, sorry.
I know Trixie doesn't need any tips from little Swaggy.
Oh!
Oh! I'm
No,
not
he
even gonna
doesn't.
say it. I'm not
Say it.
even gonna say it.
Bossman
It's
trying to
over.
survive. He does so. His head health is that of minuscule side control deny there. Elbows going to be probably raining down more blitz in the canvas, but power transition does save him as he goes to backside disposition. The ground and pound, you've got to imagine Bossman's going to be pre-denying. He knows he wants it, but get
Should
up.
have cartwheeled. Cartwheeled, it would add that. That was gonna be my tip.
Working it for the last 50 seconds of the second round. BFAP Trixie seems firmly in the driver's seat of this bout. Most competitors would be mentally defeated, if not physically, at this stage. Out here, Swaggy, I'll throw it back to you, my man. We know better than that. Bossman, not a guy that will, allow himself to be beaten by his opponents mentally. He will stick through into this fight, and he will look to bring back, a big victory if he can in this third round, but odds are stacked against him.
Yeah, man. Bossman is a dirty dog. Bossman is gonna stay in there until Bossman can't be in there anymore. And that was close. And I can't believe Boss Man survived, but he did what he had to do, Doc. Did what he had to do.
Yeah, no, he definitely did what he had to do there. He looked good all around, and I mean, as you go into this third round for Trixie, it's definitely the case where he just needs to keep the pace. He can't let off it because if he does, you risk Volkanovski's power coming into it. But as I say that, the legs I've noticed have massively been killed as well. So that power is not there as it used to be.
Leg health gone, head health gone, absolutely. Max Holloway setting a bit of a record here this evening for strikes landed and Volkanovski for strikes absorbed. Bossman having a world of troubles right now. Can he find a way through the storm and back to victory? Jesus. What an onslaught from Trixie right now, Swaggy. Non-stop, not allowing his opponent a moment to breathe.
Nah. Trixie is using that Max Holloway speed to his absolute advantage right now. He is going off. I didn't want to say it. It was kind of early. Oh, my God.
Oh!
Fucking God. Oh, my God.
He dog walked him.
He got stunned at the end. I don't think that's a dog walk, but that was a war.
He got stunned once.
True. But Trixie coming out looking...
Doc.
I mean, you're the one who said commentary curse ourselves all the way, but yeah, Trixie coming out. He looked good in that first round. I mean, you saw the armbar of the very first round as well. Even on the takedowns, that probably convinced Bossman not to take it down. But then on the feet, it just got worse and worse. The second round was dominant in all aspects. And then that third round went kind of the same way until you got that duck elbow KO by Trixie there. Jesus.
Fucking phenomenal, man. Trixie is... Right, so there's some updates of some roles that need to happen in the Discord server, but he is the UFC 4 GOAT, and we're going to have a little bit of a Hall of Fame thing happening in the relatively near future with some guys who did some stuff over UFC 4. He's the UFC 4 GOAT. He did it better than anybody else. He has the most accomplishments to his name, set the most records, and right now, Fadanator is the man of UFC 5, and he deserves his own role. He's setting records of his own account, of his own accord. And obviously looks to extend that even further here this evening. But what Trixie has been able to do over the breadth of the time he's been with us is nothing short of truly amazing. And now that he is back after a short hiatus of taking a break from competitive, I'm looking forward to seeing what he is able to do as he rises back. Some of the best fights, in fact the best fights we've ever seen here at Primetime MMA was between that man right there and the current reigning champion, FSK Fadanator. So there's a lot to do for Trixie, and there's a bright future, let's say, ahead of him, especially if he's able to put together wins like that. Lads, with that being said, tonight continues to deliver on absolutely every single avenue that it possibly could, and tonight, this next one is one of the ones that I believe I highlighted at the beginning of the card as one of my look out for fights that I expect to absolutely deliver in every single regard, and that is between two phenomenal competitors in KM's very own mix-ups, and he is stepping in there against Reg Atakan's very own Hey It's Fran. I believe they're two more recent additions to these camps, Swaggy, but both guys have been around the scene for a long time, have accrued great records this season and overall in the promotion, and want to put together a final run here to close out this season. You got to remember, Mix-Ups almost won the belt. He was so close.
Yeah, Mix-Up's record's starting to get ugly too. It's like 8-5. Like I had said this on postmortem. It's starting to get ugly. It's an ugly record, and I know two of those losses aren't the Fad, but they're still losses. And losses add up, and Mix-Ups is only on a +1 right now, so Mix-Ups really needs this. But Hey It's Fran is the fucking man. So like he's gonna come in here, he's gonna do his thing, Doc.
Yeah, he definitely is, and I mean, hopefully this goes better than how we saw the Sanhagen fight for Fran last time out. I mean, we saw Odran just get aimbotted basically, but this time around Mix-Ups is the one using Sanhagen, and now Figgy, he does have the block. He's the buff to the block, so he does have about 90 block instead of that 85 that he does at flyweight, which is a good thing. But that also means you still want to be kind of wary of it. It's still fairly low, but Figgy has power that's equivalent to someone like Cody Garbrandt, but with a much better chin. So if you're Fran here, you're probably wanting to like put pace on massively, but Mix-Ups is the one doing that instead here, it looks like.
He's not wasting any time. Oh my goodness. Shout out to Now You Tap. If you're not following this man already, we appreciate you, my man. Welcome to him and all of the guys raiding tonight's Primetime 122. You have joined at an opportune time, but when we're witnessing that boy Mixie, also known as Mix-Ups, going in there and fighting his goddamn heart out, Swaggy, up against Hey It's Fran, in what is set to be one of the fights of the ages. I said performance of the night, or fight of the night, to be expected in this bout. And so far, they're living up to that.
What did they do to Sandhagen? He's like, he can't miss.
Yeah,
He can't miss shots.
practice.
They got aimbot on him. It's crazy. Doc might not be wrong.
Genuinely, like, I was not expecting Mix-Ups to come out with that combo and just drop Fran that quickly. Gets another stun, pushing forward, lands just straight down the middle. Glennie somehow didn't knock him up, decides to not jump it back onto their feet. You got to imagine you're Sandhagen right now, you're just looking for that one more key shot before you just release another onslaught of hell at poor old Figgy over here.
Yeah,
Cyrus.
he is raining down hellfire right now. Hey, it's Fran. It's getting big brothered. He is half of Sandhagen's size, and it shows. Right now, it feels like he's almost able to do nothing now. Of course, that is a false sense of security, if that is the way that Mix-Ups is feeling, but he is absolutely dialed in, using the Sandhagen aimbot to absolutely laser focus, terminate his opponent head health. As I mean, look, honestly, Swaggy, every time we've seen Sandhagen here this evening, he has been a menace. Like, he is just, he's so fast, he's rangy, and he does just delete the head health. And I feel like Figgy especially is struggling with it.
Bro, I'll never understand it. Like, I even got the crazy reach, but we've seen it twice so far tonight. He's just like that guy. Like, I don't want to pick anybody other than Sandhagen. This is insane.
He definitely seems to be uppercut overhand, trying his best. Figgy's pinned against the cage, pulling back. So front kick nearly kills him, and that draws an end to round one. Figgy manages to scat out of round one. Will he or will he not get out of round two? That is another question in of itself. But so far, Sandhagen charging forward like a ball in a china shop. Everything landing, everything sitting all of the time. And I don't know the options of Figgy, but I feel like it may just be a double leg and hope at this point, Swag.
I don't know how I made it out.
No.
I don't know how I made it out because he was landing shots like I don't even know what to compare it to because it was so accurate, and I've never done anything that accurate in my life like that. Like the accuracy on those shots were crazy. I would like to see the percentage of the shots.
Absolutely.
We're not gonna be able to, but
yeah, for sure. Well, I've got a statement from the official, unofficial PT round scorer. 10-8 Mix-Ups, no fucking debate. Absolutely and utterly agree. Mix-Ups absolutely killing it that first round. Looking to pick it up where he left off. And look what he's doing, Doctor.
Oh!
Woo! A
and
silky,
he refuses to go to the ground.
silky smooth. Silky smooth! Silky smooth! Knockout of the year! No fucking doubt about it. Look at that shit. Look at it.
I'll forever be confused by Mix-Ups. He's just like, what? Like, for 2 weeks in a row, he'll fight horrible. And then for 2 weeks in a row, he'll put on performances like this. Like, Mix-Ups is that guy when he chooses to be. That was insane. What a performance.
That was... yeah. Aimbot. Just aimbot. A 70 out of 170 strikes, 27 significance landed, 4 knockdowns, 3 stuns. That kind of says how the fight went. That really does. Mix-Ups just went forward. He landed every shot possible, and that was that. I mean, Farhan tried to stay in the fight. He really did, but he just couldn't. find his footing at any moment's notice there, Cyrus.
Yeah, and he was coming off a 3-fight win streak right there. He was absolutely burning hot, but mix-ups just doused him and did not allow him any opportunity to get into that fight. Incredible matchup as we expected. Mix-ups bouncing back now 2 fights on a row after the last matchup that he had for the title against Fadanator. This guy's had an impressive run this season, has been an impressive competitor, and is still one of my early kind of tips of the hat for one of the most improved fighters that we have seen so far. The next fight, however, Swaggy, is one fight that, once again, I know I've said this about a few because it's absolutely goddamn true. Doctor did well, very well, putting these matchups together. Sometimes these matches maybe just make themselves. I don't know. I don't want to give him too much credit because this next one is one of those ones that, once again, is an absolute matchmaker's delight. I imagine it was easy to make this one. What remains of Vuk, who is 7-3, had a bit of a rough run, but he is ranked number 4 after putting one hell of a run together, right? Going up against K1's KN, who is on a similar sort of journey, although he is starting to win it all back, coming off a 2-fight win streak.
Two-fight win.
Go for it, Doc.
I mean, so... bloody hell, I've lost... Yeah, K-Ham, K1, part of that camp that we've seen him previously before. So expect good things, I think, is the easiest way to say it. We saw him earlier on in Trodjan against Igor and May with that Nate Diaz pick, and then I believe we saw them somewhere else. I'm just looking at the card. I can't remember, but again, Kahan's always looked fantastic in all aspects of his game. Going someone like Drickus Please definitely allows him that ability, but the Izzy Adesanya pick most definitely more towards the striking. And so I'm going to guess Kahan would want to take it to the ground, but Kahan's style has always been more preferred of that striking game, I would say, Swag.
Yeah, nah, Kaihan does really enjoy the striking, as to where Vuk will do whatever he wants. And I'm assuming Vuk's being Driscus. So I'm assuming he's gonna go out there and he's gonna try to Vuk him up. And what I mean by that is he's gonna fucking throw him on the fucking ground, and he's gonna do his thing down there, which is, you know, Vucking him up.
That's the only game plan that Vuk ever knows. Vuk him up. And we get it going. Round 1. Kahan. Is this not... Am I crazy? Or is there different, like... He's got different, like, font and shit for the names? What am I seeing?
Yeah.
I think it's a different language. So it's a different language setting. So it causes the different fonts to exist.
Okay, fair. Well, you learn something new every day. Either way, EK Kahan out here using Israel Adesanya. A lot of moving body hooks right there. Able to stop the clinch attempt. Duplessis going to have an advantage in the grappling, but my goodness, is he eating some strikes early?
Going for another clinch attempt. Now looking to go for the takedown. Does manage to get the slam. Not getting the late deny either. So side control here we come for Vuk, but into the backside. Again, power get up straight into the backside position. Posture ups, RNCs are available, but going ground and pound here, Swag.
Yep, nope. And when Vuk brings you to the ground and pound, he wants to finish it. He doesn't want to fuck around. He doesn't want to bring your block down. He just wants to finish it. That's what he goes for. He goes for the kill, Cyrus.
Absolutely, he does. And meaning business right now, as you said. Not vucking about. He rolls across from position to position. And he goes for the DAS. Nice.
Lovely job. Throwing the slam all the way. Going for the backside take instead.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Thank you, Dino. I don't know what you're talking about, but I thank you, I suppose. He backflatted him and continues to try and work in that submission.
Oh, that's deny there. That Stam's low as well. Was that a fake, maybe? I feel like. I don't know. But the race there, fantastic. Getting the RNC. That's one submission down, one more to go, arguably.
Yeah, it needs one more. Ideally.
Well, undeniable up. Fair play. Kahan trying to get tricky out here. Oh my goodness. No, like no fucking about at all. I messed up. I meant to not say fuck the entire time and just say vuck every time. But I messed up. He's really doing good on the ground right now. Kahan, such a really, you know, incredible fighter on the feet, but when he's hitting the mat, although he's really good here. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say it looked like Vuck had a big advantage, making Duplessis really work on the mat, but Kahan showing that veteran savvy right now. I'm surprised he's not separating, although I suppose he's trying to get some of that top control back.
Yeah, it's a dangerous game. Like, end of the round, that's fine enough, as you can see. Vuck got the submission, didn't he? So that would go in his favour. I mean, he did get the stun, but typically the way the game works, judges in favour of the submission damage on the sub bar a lot more if you do pay attention to the way the judges score. So I would say that's Vuck's round, but that's only one of the possible three. We're entering the second round so far. Kahan's done a fairly good job pushing the pace already, working that body to try and get that stamina back as well.
Oh, nice little feint. Seeing he utilizes the single leg feint to set up a lead hook. I like that. The vuckening seems to be happening at the moment as Kahan is trying to work his own striking game. Good takedown defense right there. But oh my goodness. My heart almost goes out to him. I mean, like, it's big for Vuck, but if you're Kahan, this is problematic right now.
Yeah, no, and it's not fun either. It's you gotta think, like, this is like disheartening, like very bad self-esteem issues happening right now for Kahan. Why can't I stop this? And Vuck's just gonna keep coming.
He's starting to stop it, so I hope that's building confidence for him. But so far this is a Drickus masterclass, and
straight down the middle. I mean, Vuck's really catching him with fakes down low and then coming up on top with just one or two shots. Vuck's doing a really impressive job with that as well. Does go for the giddy, probably going to go straight for the top mount. No, he doesn't. Go straight for the giddy, does not get it.
Bit of a wasted opportunity, if you ask me, but he's trying to make it work. He's trying to take some risks. Finds himself back on the feet now, and this is Kahan's opportunity to try and capitalize. But Swaggy, let's be real, he's been having some problems on the feet as well. Drickus has really put it together everywhere.
Yeah, man, Vuck's a problem no matter where he needs to be a problem. He can be a problem on the ground, and he can be a problem on the feet. I'm sure he's got a corner right now from WR telling him what to do, and you know, pointing out holes, and that's helping him on the feet too. It's bad for Kahan right now, back on the ground.
Well, he is trying to stay composed. He's trying to stay in this fight, at least mentally, but oh my goodness, he gets flattened out by Vuck.
30 seconds left on the clock, and not a lot of time to work, but a lot of stamina he could use. Kahan's stam also fairly low, so this just goes even more into the favor of it. Working those little tiny rabbit shots that can do some serious damage to someone's block if you're not careful.
Nice. Oh my, he got the stun with it. Yeah.
That was dangerous. That was very close.
Nice. Might have to look up whatever these fonts are. I kind of like it now. Starting us. It's different. Round 3, we get it going. They meet in the center of the cage. Very little backing up from both sides. Oh, that is a sign of frustration, in my opinion, from Kahan. He's got to dig deep. The K1 boys got to be in his ear right now, giving him that Leon Rocky Edwards speech. But look at the spear! He edged. I just stopped myself there. Would have sounded sorry. This is an incredible performance for Vuck. he may or may not get the finish in this one. I'm not too sure. There's still a lot of time in this round, but it's been that kind of Colby approach, you know, like that, chipping away at him moment by moment, just trying to out-cardio him, outwork him everywhere.
Yeah, no, Vuck's really doing his thing. Vuck is really showcasing his entire
lovely.
game right now.
Submission counter straight into it, and that is it. Lovely job there. Like LT, RT, straight up, that denies, counter, and then because of the GA you get from it as well, it's so quick that you have to kind of pre-deny it, and then that's it. Lovely job there.
So goddamn Lutely submission of the night. I mean, he just got that shit from a transition to now. Excellent little setup. I feel like the Vuckening is actually a thing. It's no longer a conspiracy theory. This man is here taking over right now. Another phenomenal performance from him. One of his better performances this season, actually. I mean, like I said, he's had a really, really tough set of fights. He's now 8-3, getting back in the win column after his most recent loss, but he always kind of bounces back so motivated. And I feel like, you know, also fighting on the card with John Africa here this evening probably helped him out quite a bit as well, having some of his other teammates on the card and some of the guys who help make game plans. So What Remains doing a great job. I'm sure we'll see Kahan back better than ever. He's a phenomenal talent, and the K1 camp has obviously had a great evening so far, but one didn't go their way, and unfortunately that was Kahan's one. But great stuff. Doctor, goddamn who. We have been setting pace here this evening. We had 8 fights scheduled for this main card. We are halfway through that. We are down to the final 4. No, final 3! We're over halfway, brother. Final 3. We have the one and only FSK Driz up against NBK's very own Mazzy. This one in lightweight. Give us the tail of the tape for this one, my man. I think it's a very fun matchup to get us all set up for those 2 title fights back to back.
Yeah, Driz coming off a loss to Fadanator, getting another win under his belt. Driz is notorious in all aspects of the game, mainly striking, coming from the FSK camp. He trains to the likes of Fadanator, who is the dominant Xbox champion at the moment, ranked number 2, and with a 6-2 record. He's looking to get back into that title picture with a win over Mazzy. Mazzy, on the other hand, part of the MBK camp, has made waves in recent times with his jiu-jitsu based background, a lot of subs on his record, and with a 7-4 record, he's taken some losses, but most of his wins are by that submission game. So it's your classic striker versus grappler matchup in the lightweight division, which definitely allows some interesting picks. But by the looks of it, we're going to have a Charlie de Bronx Oliveira being used to fight someone Drizzy's Dustin Poirier here tonight.
Abso-goddamn-lutely. These guys are going to be loading in. I'm sorry, I'm going to grab myself some water. It's right next to me. Give me 2 seconds.
I like this matchup, Doc. Charles Oliveira versus Dustin. It's a classic matchup.
Mm-hmm. Very classic. I mean, it's even more classic in UFC 5, where you have like even the longer fighters being able to the short man tax being taken away. So this type of matchups more common in UFC 5, and it's honestly better to see because of it. Yeah, having the likes of Dubronx and Islam Makhachev being used now, it really mixes up the entire games as on top of the general subsystem we have now. Swaggy. Yeah,
man, and I really like this pick for Mazzy. I forgot his name for a second. I really like this pick for Mazzy because Mazzy's a grappler. Mazzy dabbles in the BJJ. He messes with the jiu-jitsu, and I assume he's gonna be trying to do that very shortly.
You would assume so. This fight was previously booked for last week, but sadly it fell through very slightly, so Driz saw someone else. But now they're back in the octagon, and so far Driz is looking like the better contender. But as I said, that on the feet, he now takes us down to the ground, and this could all change it. And this is Mazzy's playground.
Absolutely, it's where you want to be if you are Mazzy or a Mazzy supporter. It's where you want to see the fight actually ultimately play out. Driz season, absolutely a menace on the feet. Those FSK boys have hands of terror on in the UFC 5. They are just incredible forward pressures. The Flow State Kings suit them very, very well. Driz, one of the most seasoned practitioners within that gym or camp. But Mazzy understands this. was able to play the game on the feet a little bit, tried to be a bit defensive, and when he's got to the mat, he's trying to be active. There's a lot of feints, but he understands the threat opposite him and the skills that Driz have, because you don't make it into FSK or be as in the camp as long as he has, Swaggy, without picking up a couple of tricks on the mat. So he's trying to stay safe, but easier said than done when you're up against somebody like Mazzy.
Yeah, man, and FSK is such a strong camp. You know, iron sharpens iron, and that's how Driz has made it this far. But, you know, this is kind of Mozzy's, like, coming out party, if you would. Like, this is Mozzy's time to prove that he belongs in the title picture. If he beats Driz, that's a massive name on his resume.
It definitely is, and I think that's the thing. Mazzy's fought a lot of contenders. Driz is the biggest one out of them all, and he can win this. He's definitely looking at a title shot very, very in his near future.
He's fought scrubs like Ginger. Like this is a big name on the resume for him.
Bro, when we do PT LAN, you and Ginger are having a grappling match or some shit. I swear to God, we gotta set it up. We gotta set it up.
He's getting mauled.
Driz not wanting for this to go to the mat, even for 9 seconds. He said, stand your ass up. Eats a little 5-piece for his troubles, but he's landing the more significant shots on the feet and being a little bit more calculated in his shot selection, meaning that Driz is getting the greater damage done. But there was a lot of work done on the mat from Mazzy, and I don't know which way that one is going to be scored. Only 2 more left to go, Swag. Let's be real. You don't want to leave this to the judges, especially in a high-profile fight. One that has a lot of implications. Mazzy won that round, by the way, quite clearly. But I didn't realize it. Quite a lot. I thought it was a lot closer. Felt a lot closer.
Nah, man, for Mozzy, you don't want to leave it to the judges because decisions are easily forgotten. Finishes live forever. And, you know, he wants a finish here if he wants to be remembered as a title contender.
That's the coolest shit you've ever said. I love that.
Definitely not the coolest, you know. What's up? I say a lot of cool shit.
You do, but that was pretty slick, bro. That was pretty slick.
I was going to say that was a nice takedown, but Driz managing to defend it off that. But here we are, back to the feet, trying to clinch up, but Driz, being the veteran of the game, is just punching straight through it and continuing the pace on. If Mazzy does need another takedown, that's where he had a lot of his success. He was posturing up, getting those significant strikes, point fighting to win the last round. But now Driz, he saw how that round went, so he's increased the pressure, increased the pace, and he's looking to break through that block and put some serious damage on the feet here.
Nice.
He looks nervous. Mozzy looks nervous. That teep kick that he just missed kind of looked like he's trying to rush things.
Yeah, like on the mat, Driz looked like, okay, this is not where I want to be, but he was present, he was composed. On the feet, Mazzy's trying to give that same look, but due to the body of work and the way that Driz is so good at breaking the fucking block, the holy hell, Doc, he's kind of getting a little panicked, and I understand it. I do understand it. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it's just he's jabbing, he's then hooking, and then Mazzy's trying to avoid the uppercut, but it's just not coming. Currently trying to pull Craig it, which you've got to respect. He wants to be on the mat, but Driz just not having it, and even on the takedown defense, it's very much the same way here.
Oh my God!
Jesus!
What is going on with the KOs tonight, man? What is going on with that shit? That was brutal.
Poor Mozzy, man.
You're cheesing.
That was insane. He killed him.
Yep.
He did.
Really?
Jesus. Why did he? You guys don't have audio. He came on and had a couple of choice words, Driz did, at the end there. Naughty, naughty, naughty boy. Jesus. We move upwards. We move onwards. He does pick up a big W. Mazzy not able to get the job done. 8 takedowns, only 1 successful. He made that one work for about a minute or so, but when Driz got it back to the feet, he knew to camp the holy hell out of those takedowns, and he made it work for him. Like we saw earlier on in tonight's card, when you're against somebody that's going clinch, 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 double leg, single leg, all that shit, you just got to throw a lot of straights, you've got to put combinations on them, and you've got to camp that takedown denial like your life depends on it, because it very well might. What a fight. As all of these fights have been here this evening, we expect that to continue as we approach the co-main event and the main event of tonight's card. Primetime 122 has been non-stop action from pillar to post, from start to finish. This next one right now, Doctor, obviously came around in a little bit of a weird way. Naz got into that title opportunity, won the title, and much like Aljamain, and much like the Georgian himself, Marab, they did not want to fight each other, and he vacated his title since he has an Xbox to make an Xbox run, wanted to be a champion, or the first champion on both Xbox and PlayStation. Was not able to do that earlier on this evening, unfortunately for him. But of course, it has opened up an opportunity for the two next #1 contenders in the PlayStation division to fight for that vacant title. In enters B3 Vanio up against what remains of Versus style, two men that have been around the scene for some time now. They have put in the work, they have paid their dues, and they deserve their opportunity at Primetime Gold. That opportunity is now, brother. And I know that they are eagerly anticipating their opportunity to stake themselves as the best on the PlayStation division.
Yeah, these two guys are crazy. I mean, Vanio, subs, KOs, part of that B3 camp. He's been learning from every member, it seems, taking notes from Go and Sean Corkery, who we saw like earlier tonight, who did lose, but he still looked incredibly good on the feet. And you fully expect, with that 6-1 record, that +3 for Vanio being ranked #2, using that Shabcat pick, you expect every aspect of the game to be utilized, to be used, submission threats and striking, kickboxing, everything, including the clinch there. For Verstyle, it's very much, he's going to be wanting to probably keep it basic, keeping that kickboxing style that Leon Edwards has, using those calf kicks, those teeps, and then when it does end up into that clinch position where Shabcat is looking to take it down, he's going to be elbowing him and using the best of his abilities just to keep it on the feet here tonight.
Well, said it perfectly. Did our very own little engine that could, Doctor Who. We are getting into the co-main event of this evening, Swaggy. It is your PlayStation Championship on the line. Leon Rocky Edwards on the left-hand side in the red corner, wearing the white shorts, and Shavkot Rachmanov, represented by Vanio, in the blue corner, instantly getting a hip toss. That's massive.
Yeah, no, that is huge. This is going to be a war. These are two absolute demons here. And, oh my god.
Listen, I'm trying to attempt already. Oh, jeez.
Yeah?
Lovely deny. No. Uh-oh.
No?
Well, this could get troublesome very quickly. Uh-oh.
Oh,
Sinks
Jesus.
it in.
He just needs one more.
Yes, he does.
Some more already, yeah.
And stamina's low. Can he defend? Can he deny the next submission? He's going to go for the DAS. Nice denial from Leon Rocky Edwards. That was vital, Swaggy. Could have been lights out, game over before it started.
I thought it was over. I'd like literally thought he was thinking that Darcy and it was wraps. I'm very surprised that Vanio is taking this like approach. And Verse looks surprised too. I don't think anybody was What were we gonna say, Cyrus?
So no, it's okay. Sorry, I was gonna challenge Dino to something, but that's okay, brother. That's okay. Said no, didn't know what I was talking about with subs. I think that's crazy, bro. I think that's crazy, Dino.
That's crazy, Dino.
I think that's crazy. Well, not just me.
I'm a
You're talking about all
belt.
of us.
I can choke you out.
Does take his back. Very, very nice. Can he go?
Armbar.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, a lot of people camp that armbar though. Be surprised if he doesn't maybe try RNC him a little bit, because he only needs one now at this. Well, he did sink that last one in, yeah. He only needs one.
Did. Well, armbar straight away, quickie transition there, instantly going for it now, drain the stam, a fake. Does look there, does get denied though twice in a row. Vanio's and the instant
Done.
PA, and that was
Wraps.
Jesus.
He made it look easy. And new PlayStation champion of Primetime MMA. Absolutely by storm. B3 Vanio, adding to the long list and lineage of B3 champions over the years at Primetime MMA. He did himself and his camp proud with what is not traditionally not traditionally a B3 style. He did it with grappling. He did it with submission. Just a pure pedigree on the ground, man. Absolutely phenomenal swag.
Insanity, Cyrus. Sanity, that's what it is. B3 is known for block breaking. Vanio just made B3 known for submissions.
Incredible. Incredible. Now, I will say, I actually missed this a little bit earlier on, and I apologize, but Smudger dropped some of those biddies. Former champion, man that's been out for a week or two and looking to come back very soon, but he said, I'll be watching these PS placeholders very, very closely. I'm coming. And he's in the chat right now saying placeholder, placeholder, placeholder. He's already talking the talk, and he's looking to try and get back that belt. But I have to say, Smudger, you're coming back and being met by an absolute fucking problem, as evident in this performance here this evening. B3 Vanio, deservedly now the champion at Primetime MMA, and we eagerly anticipate his first defense. Until that one, though, we have, would you believe it, another goddamn fight here this evening. You wouldn't think it after all the madness that we've just seen. That felt like a main event, but it's not. But it's not, Swag. It's not, Doctor. We still have what is set to be the most highly anticipated bout of this evening between two phenomenal competitors, Swaggy. I'll set you up, brother, but it's between Faddy, the fucking baddie, and of course, one and only Atakan. Incredible matchup here, my man.
This fight is so nuts. This fight is so batshit off its tree crazy because let me tell you why, right? You got Faddy, the baddie, the undefeated, undisputed, pound for pound GOAT of PT UFC 5. Nobody's beat him. People have come close, but guess what happens? They went to bed like the rest of them. But Atakan has a really special chance here. Come and shake up the entire Xbox division. He has literally said multiple times, I am here to create chaos. And that's all he's done. Last week, he dominated Trixie with combos we didn't even know were possible. Spinning into overhands, flying into cartwheels. It's insanity, Doc. Insanity.
Yeah, it is some crazy chaos that Atakan causes, spinning back fists into overhands, weird, wild, wacky shit that I don't think even Span may be expecting. Yeah, it's an insane time, and Peter Yan-Pick, we've seen it earlier on in his playing, and he used him before against EK Warrior doing the same type of combo, so I fully expect him to be doing the same idea against Fadanator. He's been a previous champ before, so the nerves probably won't be in play here. You've got to imagine he went on a PS title run in UFC 4, so it's a really interesting fight. But Fad, 10-0, he's made every fight either a war or has managed to find a win one way or another. So here tonight it's going to be a really, really interesting main event.
Absolutely. And without further ado, we get into that main event here this evening. FSK Fadanator, Regicide's very own Atakan, ranked number 1, up against the champion. Could be no better matchup for your main event of Primetime 122. Seen some madness in the chat saying, what are you talking about? Fadanator's always the main event. No shit, Sherlock. This man is on a 10-0 fucking win streak. Is absolutely the GOAT of the Xbox division. Nobody said this man doesn't deserve to be your main event. All they said was the co-main event felt like a main event. And we still have an incredible match to go. Are you crazy? We are here, Swaggy. We are here, Dr. PT 122 was building to this moment. And it is finally here.
Let's fucking go. Insanity, and I'm loving these picks. Atakan is yawn. Fad is Sean. Doc, we're about to see fireworks.
Yeah, I definitely agree there. Ducking straight there. Overhand's already coming out, leading into the hook, so he's got to be careful here. Fad's the one, not using much of O'Malley's range, more just standing close and boxing that way. Did manage to get himself reversed against the back of the cage, but back into the middle of the octagon. He's happy just playing this game slow and steady if he wants to. He doesn't want to be chasing Atakan around the octagon, it seems here. So.
No, not at all. It looks like they both just want to just fight. Oh, never mind. Now Atakan's getting a little dicey. Starting to move a little bit, Cyrus.
Absolutely. Look, nobody wants that O to go. But unfortunately, somebody's O has to go, Doctor. And Regicide's very own Atakan trying to stand his ground, trying to really put it on Fadanator, who is just being the cleaner of the two landing their shots right now, slightly getting the better of the damage, meeting his opponent with fire in the center of the cage, almost throwing away that reach advantage at times, but still finding a way to get that absolute beautiful craftsmanship to work in the center. Turkey's going to get wild at one point, and I'm interested to see what happens when he decides to go 0 to 100.
Oh, yeah.
Oh!
The lead hook there. And so it seems like Fad came in with one idea about just walking forward and throwing, realised it wasn't going to be as much, so he's kind of taken a step back, playing that middle range game, and then he's just slowly, so he's firing a couple, then he's setting a couple more off rhythm, and it's going to be kind of that way. Atakan's got to figure that out and then start making those adjustments from that point onwards. So here, Cyrus.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the stats are, but he's actually already working on the block pretty well of Sugar Sean O'Malley, and that could be problematic as this is a 5-round fight should they make it into the later rounds. And a takedown from Regicide's Atakan, UFC Turkey. Decides to get back up and then go for another one. What am I seeing, Swaggy?
Oh my God, seeing madness. I'm surprised. I thought we were gonna see more sauciness out of Atakan, Doc.
Yeah, maybe he just didn't want the full guard. Maybe he realised the full guard's going to be a difficult position to extend from, and it gave too many submission threats. But yeah, that one boggles my mind, to be honest. But another stun here by Fad. 20 seconds left in this round. It's been a pace that both of them put on a high pace. Fad's definitely chosen his shots a slight bit better, getting knockdowns and stuns in a few specific places, but Atakan then at the very end starting to put a bit of pace on there, Cyrus.
Yeah, absolutely. He started to try and turn it up. Atakan will never count out himself. He will never give up on himself. He will always be looking for a way to finish that fight. He has got that predatory sort of instinct when it comes to finishing fights, and he looks to try and put that in maximum effect here this evening. Has the slighter of the stamina advantage, but he's got to keep cognizant, keep in the back of his mind. He may be down a round. He's got to try and really turn it up in this next one. And Fadanator knows that he's ahead, and he's going to continue to try and pepper that block. Land those counter shots just like that, Swaggy. It doesn't get any silkier than when Faddy the Baddie gets in his flow.
Nah, not at all. Once Fad gets locked in, that's a very dangerous state. You don't want Fad to lock in. You want to keep Fad on his toes so he can't lock in. And I feel like, I'm afraid Atakan has already allowed Fad to lock in.
Now, you know, as I mentioned earlier, Turkey did start really working on that block, and John Africa himself in the chat also has mentioned it now. The block is gone to Fadanator, but he don't need it if his opponent is getting lit the fuck up against that cage, dog. He's aiming and firing right now.
He's aiming, firing, landing his shots in perfect timing. 3 stuns now, I think, over the course of the last 2 rounds and a bit, last round and a bit so far. And he's just continuing that pace on, jab straight, and then that straight afterwards, or the rear hand finding the shot to make the stun, and then he's just looking to land shot after shot. The block of Fad's definitely going, but so is Atakan with how many shots he is taking. Not a lot of head movement, not a lot of big counters here, but Fad, on the other hand, he's happy just to calm it down, slow the pace when he needs it, and now we're starting to play on the back foot, it seems.
Yeah.
Anytime Atakan tries to get into the pocket, Fad keeps him out by just throwing that jab straight. And Atakan really can't take advantage of the block being low right now.
No, he can't. And I think that Fadanator's deciding to play on the outside because that spinning elbow is broken. Like, spinning elbows are broken on this game right now. They do too much damage. They do way too much damage. So he stepped out, and I think it's smart. You know that, Swag. You know the spinning elbow. It's
my
crazy.
favorite thing to do.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. It's mad.
Throw like 7 around.
Did catch me a few of them yesterday. I ain't gonna lie. Oh Jesus! Connection gods, EA, Twitch. Please allow this to. Oh! Oh my!
Oh! Upper kick, saving his life.
UFC Turkey trying to show the Fadanator is a mere mortal. However, still, he is alive. He may have shown that he can bleed, but can he lose? That is the question. Fadanator still in this one. Answering back, he has regicide Turkey injured as well. This is so close, Doc.
Keep that pressure. Give me some good
It
combinations.
is seriously close. The block of Atakan is arguably the biggest thing that's gone right now.
Oh!
2 shot. Oh.
I thought it was going to be a stun.
He's
Yeah,
insane.
I thought it was. I thought it was going to be a knockdown, to be honest, but apparently not. 1-1?
This is the craziness we were waiting for.
That's still 2-0, isn't it? I think that's 2-0 Fad.
Yeah, I don't think Atakan won that.
Atakan definitely got ahead in the round, but Fadanator pulled it back, you know. He pulled it back. But the problem is that, like, momentum-wise, unless... If Atakan just can either turn it up a little bit or stop the damage...
Oh.
Never mind. He's
Never
dead.
mind.
Could be over.
Oh, my God!
Oh, Jesus.
Some way, somehow, this Turkey isn't done.
Backside denied. Posture up is all he needs. Instead, though, goes to the back mount position. Back flat RNC. Anything's a possible option. Subs maybe not because of the stand, but if he can get either a top mount or a back flat, just one position with a ground and pound posture, he was going to have a lot of effect. Or just those punches there can do a lot of damage himself. His head health is very hurt. Blinks after one punch, so...
Also, I mean, he's got a like a red doctor's icon already, and ground and pound is a much better way at targeting a particular location for those doctor stoppages. Remember now, this is all the third round. We have got championship rounds potentially still ahead. As Turkey gets back to his feet, Swag.
Yeah, no, that was...
And here's the doctor.
Maybe it wasn't that smooth.
I hope he doesn't stop here. This would be some fuckery. He's letting him go. Thank God. Now, you know what it is, though? You know what it is, though, Swag? He now has to absolutely guard that face with everything, because he can't. He just can't.
Yeah, and he also kind of has to stay close to him. He can't really have a distance because the doctor will come back in.
Fadanator in the chat. I'm a better grappler than you, Famalam. That is hilarious.
Oh. Jesus, he's having some to destroy in here.
Oh wow, ducks into that one. Still didn't get clipped though. You see Turkey's head health in the blinking range almost eternally. The block not fantastic either. Both guys a little bit worrisome when they go to enter the into the pocket. But once again, the separation between them means that the doctor calls this one is called back in, and I think that he may be stopping it here, guys. I think this might be it. It's done. It's done. Controversially.
It's because he wasn't close enough.
Yeah.
Can't keep that distance.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Look, this is the thing. When you got somebody on that doctor's cut, you know, just keep separating. And the doctor's going to come in, bro. There's only so many times. That roll of the dice is not going to go your way. But it was actually 1-1 going into that third round. Doctor was right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm surprised as well, man.
For once.
Wow.
Yeah. Hilarious. Well, we'll do it. We'll give him his hand and you know, is absolutely props. And still your Xbox champion of the world, PrimeTime's very own FSK Fadanator, now 11-0, looking to set records, already setting records in UFC 5. We are going to get those rolls sorted soon, but Trixie's is going to have to change to UFC 4 GOAT, and I think it's time. I think it's time the Fadanator gets his own GOAT roll. He deserves that shit, man. 11-0. He's almost beat that record of UFC 4 to kick us off in UFC 5, dog, which is fucking mental. He wins one more. He defends one more. He's tied Trixie for the most title defenses. 12. 12 is it.
Fatty the
Somewhere
Fat.
around that. I'm thinking of like total win streak, which is about 20.
There's different records. There's different records.
Yeah, there's different records. Yeah,
Yeah.
but he's definitely close to breaking at least a couple of them.
Abso-goddamn-lutely. For UFC 5, at least, he has set those records in massive effect. We have had an incredible night of fights here at PrimeTime MMA. It has been an absolute pleasure calling these fights alongside yourself. Make sure to catch Dr. and, of course, Dr. Swaggy Kush, or Swaggy Dr. Kush, every single day on his stream. We will link him in the chat in a moment. And of course, check these guys out on Primetime Postmortem, my favorite podcast at the moment, breaking down all of the previous cards and giving us a little bit of a highlight or a glimpse into some of the future madness set to be unleashed every single Saturday. Until then, make sure to enjoy the fights later on this evening if you're staying up for the UFC. Stay around for the raid and show some love to this lovely niche community that we have in UFC 5 gaming. It has been a pleasure. We appreciate each and every one of you from the bottom of our hearts. Until the next one, much love, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.